Liverpool. It's already been a pretty good weekend for Liverpool, and it could get about a lot better now.
Yeah, it can do. It's just amazing they're playing United and virtually everyone's given them 3 points already. But, I mean, I look at it now, look at Chelsea. Prior to their last 3 games, everyone was talking about, even I was, about maybe Chelsea, the only team, because they had something different about them. They're not like Arsenal, virtually just playing clockwork football, I call it Arsenal. You look at Chelsea, they had just everything about them, flamboyant and away through Cole Palmer, but the last 3 games have been so disappointing for them. Notts Forest, can't complain about them. They're having an incredible season.
I was just going to say that Forest and Liverpool are really the only 2 teams in that top group who've been consistent all season. The others have all been erratic, haven't they?
They have. And what some teams have done is just put some games in on the bounce, and all of a sudden it's lifted them. Newcastle have done it. That's 5 now. I think they've won on the 5 or whatever it is now on the bounce. And all of a sudden,
5, 6 in all competitions actually.
And then you look at them, look where they go to, and all of a sudden you're talking about them and Champions League. You have to look at Bournemouth, what they've been doing. They're having a great season.
Another win for them yesterday.
Playing decent football. Their own brand of football as well, so that's good to see.
Good recruitment at Bournemouth as well. I mean, as for Manchester United, I mean, it's astonishing. You have to scroll so far down the table to find them. There they are in 14th. I mean, they're only 6 points now off the drop zone, because Ipswich got a point. If you're just joining us, it finished 2-2 in the earlier game at Craven Cottage. 3 penalties in that game, 1 for Ipswich and 2 for Fulham. It ended all square. But Manchester United are now 6 points off the relegation zone. I mean, you and I are old enough to remember the Dennis Law back heel in 1974, which sent United down. Law was playing for City at the time. It was his last touch in football, I think. But, you know, since then, it's been unthinkable that Manchester United should be in this situation.
Yeah, it was unthinkable then, and that's why that film and that book come out, Too Good to Go Down. To be honest, really. And you look at it now and you think to yourself, well, no teams, there's a reason why you have a league. It's to actually define your season. And if you do go down, you go down because you haven't been good enough over a season. And this moment in time, United haven't been good enough so far this season. That's why they are where they are. And they deserve to be there. There's no excuses for it. Their performances have been poor. I think we've had a good 85 minutes against Manchester City, and that's all it's been for Manchester United. The rest of it has been clutching at straws.
Lost, won, lost, and the one, as you say, is that Manchester City game. I mean, that's apart from the bottom 2, that's as bad as anything in the Premier. Gary Neville said it last weekend. He said, pound for pound, with the Newcastle game, wasn't it? Pound for pound, you're watching the worst team in the Premier League at the moment. I think he's right, because of the amount of money you can't really compare them to Southampton and Leicester in terms of, you know, the players they've got and the quality in the squad.
No, that's right. And for Gary to say that means that obviously he must have fell out with somebody there, so he must have missed out on something, so now he's willing to have a go at them. So if he's saying that now, that, you know, there must be something to it.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, the problem I think with Manchester United is I just cannot see a way out. There doesn't seem to be any sign of a way out. They've got a new manager who sticks to a rigid formula. I mean, I remember, I don't know if it was you I was with, but when just before Amorim took over, I remember asking one of you ex-players, how on earth are the likes of De Ligt and Maguire and Lindelof going to fit into this 3-4-3? And we saw 2 goals on Monday where crosses came in from the left and Newcastle players unopposed headed in from close range.
Well, it definitely wasn't me, John. But the one thing I will say is that if they did actually say, yeah, I understand what you're saying, John, I'd be one of them as well.
They did.
But when we talk about balls being delivered, we're talking about the 2 teams I know who deliver the ball early. And one of them I saw the other day, Newcastle. Yep. Nottingham Forest do the same because of Chris Wood. They get in wide areas, they just deliver. Because they got Isak. They say they know that Isak is going. He believes the ball's cut, and he makes movement to actually put himself in a position to score a goal. Well, look, and all of a sudden his movement on 2 occasions affected them, and someone's come out straight. Martinez said he was too small to deal with Isak. No, The problem was he didn't do his job early by getting close to him and blocking him and making it a difficult header, blocking and winning. So they're not. They weren't.
You said to me that's not really. You know, Martinez's strength is not in a three.
Yeah, it's not in a free because of he's not a good athlete. He's not an athlete. So when you leave him in a free and he's left of a free, there's so much space on the outside of him. He doesn't want to go outside there because he knows if he gets in a 1-against-1 there with someone with a bit of pace, it's going to cost him a card. He's going to be taken because he generally doesn't come out winning. He gives away silly fouls because he hasn't got the discipline or the patience to bide his time. So he's a little bit out of sorts in that area.
And yet, here they are, the same three.
Yeah,
De Ligt, Maguire, Martinez. I mean, granted, there isn't a lot of leeway, but, you know, and you look at the sort of deliveries that Trent Alexander-Arnold could put in, that Diaz can put in. You know, Liverpool, even Salah, as well as scoring them 17 assists or something.
Yeah, patience is important when you're playing that. Pace is important, but it's not something you have to have. What you have to communicate as a free. I don't think that free communicate. If you're going to play with Harry Maguire in the middle, I should be able to see his hands going, I should see his mouth moving. I'll watch him play, and all I see is after the horse is bolted, Harry Maguire's got his arms in the air, pointing them all over the place. And to be honest, if you asked him to work on the streets on traffic, there'd be too many accidents.
I'm going to enjoy this afternoon with you, Paul. I can just tell you're on form today. Let's hear from the two managers. They couldn't possibly be going through different situations, really. Arne Slot is riding high, and Ruben Amorim is pretty much on his knees.
No, of course, I'm not going to plan to rest any player because it's a big game, and I think it's, for me, I said it before the first fixture, and I can say it one more time, that they have much better players, in my opinion, than maybe the league table shows at the moment. And I think it's going to take a while maybe for Ruben Amorim to bring this out of the players. I don't know, but they will definitely go up, and they are much better than the league table shows at the moment.
We know that is going to be a tough moment, really different context from both teams. They had that strong base for long years, and they are a strong team, but like I said, we work this week to win the game. We will try to do that.
If it would destabilize players at Liverpool, if other people talk about them, then we would really have a problem, because if you play at one of the biggest clubs in the world, everybody always for 12 months long is talking about you, sometimes in relation to other clubs. That happens so many times for our players, that if that destabilizes them, then we really would have had a problem, not only now but in the past 6 months, because I think there were some talks about our players also in the last 6 months, and I don't think that they destabilized them at all.
Yeah, I know that is a problem here to say that kind of things, but I think in this moment in our club, everybody has to understand that. So let's focus on the reality. We know that we are Manchester United. I'm not supposed to talk about these things, but I want to be very clear with the fans and the players. I think that is really important in this moment. So anything can happen, but we are focused on to win games and to improve our performance, and then that is not an issue in the future.
So the two managers, do you have some sympathy with Ruben Amorim? I mean, he's taken a big job on, but I mean, it's the Manchester United is always a big job, but in terms of the situation, it's almost the biggest job Manchester United have faced for a very long time, because they're completely out of sorts.
Yes, I have, with him and a few others as well.
Yeah.
Because it has been difficult because of the people they've had to work with. That's the problem, and it's society now, it's the football. You know, the players think they're bigger than the person who's managing them. That's the problem. No one wants to listen to the person in charge. They virtually override them by going to the person above that person to say, he's not doing that job, he's not allowing me to do this. And because players now are commodities, generally it's the managers who lose out. We question him. Teams are playing bad now. Everyone's questioning the manager. I think, so hold on a minute.
Yeah.
He does so much before the game. There's only so much he can do in that 90 minutes. But fans of today don't want to do that. They want to blame the manager. Oh, he's lost the dresser and get rid of him. Someone else new comes in. and then you rinse and start again, and all of a sudden you've got the same problems coming on. But because of the amounts of money that people have invested in players and what they cost and what they're paying them, they can't go back on it. So they virtually have to work with that player and be stuck with them until that contract ends, knowing damn well that player has cost them a fortune and they've had no return.
Yeah, they've got a few, certainly, Manchester United, who fit that description. Marcus Rashford, of course, is the focal point for many. We understand that he wants to leave the club. He's not necessarily going to walk into another club. He's turned down 3 offers, apparently from Saudi Arabia, which would have made him immensely wealthy, or even more immensely wealthy. But he wants to try and pursue his England ambitions, but at the moment they're a long way away. He, we're told, is ill. He's not in the squad today. His Manchester United teammates are in the tunnel at Anfield in what we expect to be a one-sided game, but this is Liverpool against Manchester United. After all, it was 0-0 last season. Let's see what happens this time around. It's coming up in just a couple of moments for you on Premier League Live.
Previously on White and Jordan.
You look quite bronzed at this time.
I've come back from Spain, haven't I?
Yeah, I know that. You came back with a red face, but
I did not come back with a red face. I came back. I have a red face, but people associate me with you.
100% engagement.
But listen, I'm many things, but I'm fair and equitable.
Did you look in the mirror before you left the loo in the morning and say, one thing I'm not is arrogant?
It's one of those circus mirrors
let's
where
get on with the
turn a tall
day.
person into a short person.
Warning: dangerous opinions ahead.
Stand by him. What are you whining about? Why are you crying?
Continues weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Premier League commentator and radio host Tom Rennie here to tell you about my podcast, Week in the Tackle, with TV star, radio personality, and soccer legend Brian Dunseth.
Every week, we're going to recap the best of the Premier League, Major League Soccer, Champions League, and more, tackling the things we thought were.
What's up, soccer fans? Thank you for hanging out with us. It's the new year. Happy 2025 to all of you and your families. I hope the best for each and every one of you. Now let's have some fun today in the chat. Manchester United and Liverpool. The game was going to get called off because of the snow, but they're going ahead with the game. They're going to play it out. So we need to cheer on Manchester United and get at least a draw out of this. This would be absolutely amazing if we could pull out a draw on the road at Anfield, given the recent form of Manchester United and how poor it has been. But hey, you never know. Look at what happened at the Etihad now like a month ago. But anything can happen. That's why we're here hanging out, having a good time. Please hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more Manchester United fans here in the chat to have a good time. And cheer on the Red Devils today. They need all the help they can get. Let us know in the chat what you think the direction of the team is. Where do you see Manchester United going and who do you see them signing and getting rid of, etc., etc. Let's fire it up. We'll see you guys at halftime. Go Manchester United, go.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on Talk Sport.
Hello, I'm Andy Goldstein.
And I'm Darren Bent.
Fast and furious football talk for full-on fans.
Under the bonnet, over the top, into the back of the net.
Tower of sporting power in the afternoon.
100% nationwide coverage.
Talk Sport Drive.
Revs up weekdays from 4.
With Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent.
The fastest football on the way home.
We'll have a bit of that.
Reasons to like TalkSport. 1, 2, 3. A bit of Simon Jordan. The hottest news from F1. The latest transfer deals done. Paul walks me.
Brownies with the swinging 70s end.
Tony Cascarino. A trip to the casino. A pint of cappuccino. Alan Brazil.
Just brilliant.
Adrian Durham. Come here if you want some. We'll bloom and take you all on. TalkSport's got skills.
Don't be a blockhead. Listen to TalkSport on DAB Digital Radio 1089 and 10:53 AM on the app and on your smart speaker.
TalkSport.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Liverpool against Manchester United from Anfield. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Manchester United and England defender, Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live, and this is Liverpool against Manchester United. There are 23 points and 13 places between these two teams. Liverpool are odds-on favourites to lift the title. If they do, they will match Manchester United's record of 20 times English champions. That will hurt for Manchester United fans. These two clubs have won 90 major trophies between them. They are the two most popular clubs worldwide in this division. And as we listen to You'll Never Walk Alone, there's a banner which says Liverpool FC, support and believe. They have both of those qualities in spades. The support is magnificent, the belief is huge. And Manchester United, it's a bit like Daniel walking into the lion's den as these players come out at Anfield, where it is very wet, but it's rain rather than snow. And United are in a change strip of predominantly white with a little bit of red involved as well, and black. Liverpool, of course, are in all red. Ibrahima Konate is back for Liverpool to replace the injured Joe Gomez. Manchester United have Bruno Fernandes and Manuel Ugarte back from suspension. Kobbie Mainoo in from the start. Joshua Zirkzee, understandably, is left out, having been substituted after just over half an hour by Ruben Amorim. Both the managers are wrapped up against the elements. The referee is the hugely experienced Michael Oliver, who's taken charge of this fixture 6 times before. He knows all about it, so do the fans. But the gulf is huge between these two clubs at the moment. But Manchester United have beaten Manchester City this season, their other big rivals. And Paul Parker, I think the opening 10 minutes will be crucial, because United started so badly against Newcastle and they just cannot afford to do it again.
That's absolutely correct. You're looking for all the players. You're not looking for fantastic performances in the first 10 minutes, but you're looking for people just to want to put their foot in, want to go and show a bit of energy, and go and show passion, but be disciplined as well.
Liverpool have Alisson in goal, a back four of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ibrahima Konate fit again after missing 8 games, and Andy Robertson and Virgil van Dijk, of course, Alexis McAllister, Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch in midfield. Then it's Mo Salah, who's got 17 goals this season, not to mention the 13 assists, Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. Salah has scored 15 goals in previous games against Manchester United and has scored in all of the last 3 meetings. United have Andre Onana in goal. They stick with the back three of Matthias de Ligt, Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez, despite the mistakes against Newcastle. Diogo Dalot, Kobbie Mainoo, Manuel Ugarte and Moussa Mazraoui are the midfield quartet. In front of them, Ahmed, who's probably been the one shining light this season for United, and Bruno Fernandes, who's back from suspension, just behind the front man, Rasmus Højlund. As I've been listing those formations for you, you haven't missed any of the action, because Kobbie Mainoo has gone down with a head injury and is being tended to by the Manchester United physios. Harry Maguire and Bruno Fernandes are already in deep conversation. There are huge piles of snow piled up. The pitch is in beautiful condition, but it's a throwback to the old days, Paul, isn't it, when they used to shovel snow. They used to play in snow, didn't they?
Well, they used to leave a layer on there anyway.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of stuff today on their social media. They're showing the games, old games.
Yeah.
Players playing on
it's
the
almost
snow.
ice skating.
Yeah, it was. It was. And players done it now. You just see a little bit of snow, and it's the worst thing in the world.
Well, credit to the ground staff who've done a marvellous job. I'm very glad that the City Council decided it was safe to hold the game. The capacity crowd, obviously, have all managed to get here safely, which is great. Here's Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool, who finds Luis Diaz. Diaz just checks inside. He's another who's been a goal scorer in the past against Manchester United. He scored 3 in the last 2. And of course, a couple of seasons ago, it was 7-0 here. But that was dozy from Robertson. He's been robbed here by Mainoo, who seems to have recovered. This is Rasmus Højlund for Manchester United. What a start it would be for them if they could get an early goal. It would silence a lot of the critics. Here's Kobbie Mainoo looking to take on Konate. I'm interested to see how fit he is. He's been out for a while with a knee injury. This is Ugarte. Liverpool fans are booing because United enjoying a spell of possession. This is Maguire just inside the Liverpool half. Out wide it goes to Dalot. Dalot's another who's had a reasonably good season amid the wreckage of the United situation. He's trying to get round the outside. That's excellent defending by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool get the ball away. It comes off Mo Salah, who ends up in a heap of snow, and the ball goes out of play.
I mean, that was well played by Dalot. He'd done his job well, but the reason why Trent Alexander-Arnold got back is because Dalot will not use his left foot. He tried to get on his right side, so he made it easy for Alexander-Arnold to be able to come back and recover. Again, he got rinsed very easily by a fullback, not by a winger, by a fullback. And that is a weakness already we've seen so early in the game.
Here's Robertson driving forward for Liverpool. He's got quite a lot of space as he crosses the halfway line, gets it forward to Gakpo, who's still playing in this position wide on the left-hand side. He's been repositioned by Arne's slot, and it seems to be working well with Diaz more down the middle and Salah on the other flank. Here's McAllister finding Diaz. Diaz, one of plenty of players wearing gloves today against the cold, finds Alexis McAllister. Now it's Robertson. Patient build-up here from Liverpool, who are 20 yards from goal. McAllister spreads it. Canate, slightly uneasy touch, but he's got it back to the goalkeeper, Alisson, who's kept 8 clean sheets in 13 games against Manchester United. United haven't scored on this ground in 5 league games. Last player to score here was Jadon Sancho in a 3-1 defeat. As I said, United haven't won here in 8. It's not been a happy hunting ground at all for them. But of course they did have that famous game last season at Old Trafford where they knocked them out the cup in a 4-3 thriller when Ahmad scored the winner and then got sent off for taking his shirt off. Here's Fernandes for United, who've perhaps started better in the opening 5.5 minutes, Paul, than many might have predicted.
Oh, exactly right. They're doing really well at the moment.
Here's Robertson, centre midfield, square to Gravenberch, who's been absolutely outstanding for Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold getting forward. He's got Salah out wide. First involvement for the Premier League's top scorer. Cuts in, shoots right-footed. It's a rather weak effort. It's blocked by Maguire, and eventually it's spooned away out of harm's way by De Ligt. And Liverpool take the throw quickly, and Salah has it again, close to the corner flag on the near side. Liverpool attacking the Anfield Road end in the opening half, and they've won their first corner.
Well, that's going to be, there's the weakness they're going to go for. Get the ball to Salah and go up against Dalot. Dalot as a defender is very poor, and just what we've seen there is he's there defending him, and he's showing him towards the corner. He gives away a corner when he should have been forcing him back. It was just poor decision for him to do that. That is the outlet on that side with Dalot having to defend 1 against 1.
Well, this will be interesting because United did not deal with crosses well at all the other night against Newcastle, and Alexander-Arnold is one of the best deliverers of a dead ball there is arguably in the world. In it comes, keeper Onana punches high. Fernandes with a header. Underneath it is Jones, but it comes off his head, and Ugarte comes driving forward, the Uruguayan midfield player. This is Ahmad, wearing 16. Real bright spark, who of course, as I said, scored that late winner memorably in the Cup last season. Both of these teams have rather contrasting FA Cup ties coming up next week. Liverpool play Accrington Stanley, which is a famous name, founder members of the Football League, another Lancastrian club. Manchester United face a rather different challenge. They go to Arsenal. But I think certainly for Liverpool, arguably for Manchester United as well, given the position they're in the league, is the priority. Here's Mazraoui. Back to Matthijs de Ligt, the Dutch international defender.
Do you remember that advert? It was an advert. Milk advert.
Yeah, and it
was it Ian Rush in it, I think?
I can't remember. Yeah, he might have been. It was basically a milk advert, and it said something about you could grow up and play for Accrington Stanley, and it was the little Scouse Liverpool fan said, who are they? And in fact, they're an older club than Liverpool, to be fair, although it's not exactly the same club. But Accrington Stanley, to people our age, it's a famous old name. Anyway, it'll be a magnificent occasion for them, against Liverpool. Here's Luis Diaz. I suspect the team might be slightly different for the cup tie, but Liverpool are certainly at full strength today, as Canate finds Alexander-Arnold. This is Curtis Jones, who's enjoying a fine season now, an England international as well. England international goal scorer too. Here's Konate. And Liverpool just continue to play keep ball at a fairly sedate pace. It's chipped forward by Konate towards Gakpo. It's headed away from him by Mazraoui and then away by Martinez. It hits Mainu, but comes out to Dalot, looking to take on Alexander-Arnold again. Kobbie Mainu backwards. You're holding your head, Paul, every time United play the ball back.
Yeah, it's just quite negative. They're going nowhere. They're putting themselves, like now, they're putting themselves in big trouble when Dalot had the opportunity to go forwards.
De Ligt back to goalkeeper Onana, who clears to his left, picks out Dalot. Useful ball. McAllister tries to win it back, does so. Konate finds Alexander-Arnold. Early ball in towards Gakpo. Header away by Mazraoui. I think if you're looking at positives in Manchester United, because I think I've mentioned Diallo, Ahmed Diallo and Dalot. I think Mazraoui's done okay.
I would take Dalot out of that, to be honest, I would go Mazraoui and Ugarte.
Yeah.
I think they're the three who have stuck out since he's been there, the new manager.
Here's Mazraoui now on the right-hand side. Swings it away. It's a decent cross-field ball. Dalot is onto it. We've had 10 minutes at Anfield. We talked about the first 10, so United fans will be happy that they've reached this milestone without a goal conceded. And to be honest, they haven't really allowed Liverpool a single whiff of goal yet, which is encouraging for the visiting fans. It's not far, it's 30 miles up what used to be called the East Lancs Road, now the M62 motorway. Difficult driving conditions, difficult playing conditions at the moment. The rain is bucketing down with absolutely no sign of relenting, but the wind isn't bad. I mean, the players don't mind the rain, do they? It's when the wind picks up, it's a problem, but it's not too bad. The corner flags are just hanging down, there's no breeze at all.
The thing about it, United are getting into that final third, and you just got to, maybe you got Højlund in there, just pull it in there. Ask the question of Liverpool, the goalkeeper and the two centre halves, are they ready for maybe a bit of a battle? Højlund's just there, virtually set himself up for a pass into his feet for him to play the way he's facing. That's negative.
Yeah. And of course Arsenal and Chelsea fans, it's not in their nature to bestow good wishes upon Manchester United, but they will be hoping for a United win here because they want Liverpool to stumble. They've only lost one game all season, of course, Liverpool. That was against Nottingham Forest. Here, wonderful goal by Callum Hudson-Odoi early in the season. Other than that, it's been an incredible start for Arne Slot. 23 wins and 3 draws from his 27 games, just that one. They've beaten Bayer Leverkusen, the Bundesliga champions, 4-0. They're top of the Champions League group. I mean, it's an absolute dream season, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, even the most optimistic Liverpool fan with a new manager, sometimes it takes a while to settle in, but just the levels that they've managed to maintain have been astonishing. 12 minutes gone, 0-0 at Anfield. Got one more game to bring you this weekend, of course. Wolves against Forest. We've been talking about Nottingham Forest, and they're involved in a Midlands derby tomorrow night at Molineux. You can hear that with us. Here's Curtis Jones. Now, Alexander-Arnold finding Mohamed Salah over on the far side. Not a good ball by him, but a poor clearance. Alexander-Arnold shoots. Lisandro Martinez blocks it. Then the follow-up shot from Diaz, who's scooped over the bar. First goal most action of the game, and perhaps inevitably it's come Liverpool's way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all they've done and got it out wide to Salah. Salah has tried to go towards the near post. I have to say, Martinez, actual defensive job there was poor. He should have just cleared the ball, and he's got no height. He's just pulled it straight out to Alexander-Arnold, and he's just struck it first time.
Luis Diaz has got 12 goals this season, 3 in his last 2 appearances. Big wins against West Ham and Tottenham Hotspur. Didn't play in the game in between those two against Leicester, which Liverpool also won, of course. Here's Virgil van Dijk finding Andy Robertson. It'll go back to Alisson. And we're talking about players who can play out, goalkeepers play out the back. And we were talking earlier about there aren't that many. Alisson certainly is one. That was a wonderful ball, wasn't it? And suddenly Liverpool are on the attack. If you've got a goalkeeper who can do it, it works pretty well. But the problem is there are so few teams that do.
Yeah, but they still try and do it. Try and play it from the back.
Yeah. Here's Curtis Jones. Lovely ball into Gravenberg. Gravenberg to Gakpo, who's just nudged it wide. First clear-cut opportunity. Lovely play by Liverpool around the edge of the penalty area. There are remonstrations between Fernandes and De Ligt about how Liverpool were allowed to get through the defence, but when they did, Cody Gakpo has, with his outside of his right foot, steered it wide, and that was a good opportunity.
I mean, they're looking at talking to De Ligt, and it's not about De Ligt, it's about Højlund. Højlund switched off because Gakpo was just standing to his left, and he's just following the ball. Hasn't seen Gakpo nip off with his shoulder and get him behind.
Well, let's talk of the situation with the captaincy at Manchester United. Harry Maguire's been offered an extended contract to 2026. A lot of people, well, say a lot, some people are saying maybe he should be. He's the most likely leader. But I've never particularly liked Fernandes as a captain.
No.
You know, he's had a couple of sendings off this season. I don't think he sets a brilliant example. I think he just seems to whinge and whine a bit too much for my liking as a captain.
Well, he's not a captain. He's captain is because he's maybe their most prominent player. That's the reason why he's there. But Harry Maguire is not a leader either.
No,
he's not a person who should be captain. He's been there before. He's not that person.
Here's Curtis Jones, headed away by Mazraoui. Actually, Amorim's gone on record as saying there aren't enough leaders on the pitch, and you know, you're in trouble if you've got a team with no leaders. I mean, it goes without saying. It's like having an army with no generals. You know, it becomes chaotic. Crossfield pass. Mo Salah controls it neatly on the far side. Clips it into the box. McAllister! That's a brilliant save by Onana. It was a lovely chip into the box by Salah. McAllister was onto it. He hit it firmly and accurately on the half volley. And Onana made a super block to deny Liverpool a goal in the 15th minute.
Well, I'm looking at that, where that's all started from, and I'm looking at Harry Maguire as a spare man. He should be picking him up. Mainu has come back with him, but Harry Maguire's got sucked out on the outside of the post. He should have been in that middle, seen the runner and picked the runner out and saying to Mainu, stay out there. There's no communication within this back through. The man in the middle doesn't speak.
Here's the corner, outswinger. Onana claims it, but that will have the visiting fans jittering a bit because Liverpool have had two now good chances,
great chances
in the space of a couple of minutes. Fairly even opening 12 or 13 minutes, but now Liverpool are beginning to find ways through United's defence.
They certainly are, and they're finding it too easy. Just the movement, and to be honest, it's not exactly great movement, it's good movement, but the players, they're just not seeing it, or they just don't want to run. They're not just doing their work early.
Here's Ugarte, who is a hard worker. Rasmus Højlund has been... two United players have gone down. Van Dijk initially tripping Højlund. One of them will be penalised. I'm not sure which, but it'll be a free kick to Manchester United around the halfway line. We've had 17 minutes. If you just joined us today, Fulham 2, Ipswich 2 was the final score at Craven Cottage in the early game today. Ipswich twice led Sami Smodic and a Liam Delap penalty, but on both occasions Raul Jimenez equalised from the penalty spot for Fulham. But it is a result which aids Ipswich with another point in their battle against relegation. Here's McAllister. That's lovely play by him, and he's played a good ball forward as well to Salah. Salah tried to turn and play Luis Diaz in, and it was a good block in the end that stopped him. And Manchester United snuffed that danger out. It's back with Onana. We talked about Marcus Rashford and the sort of uncertainty about his future. I mean, there is uncertainty about Mo Salah's future and indeed a couple of others, Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool, but you wouldn't know it from the way they're playing. I mean, Rashford's reaction doesn't seem to be particularly mature to me, but you know, Liverpool, Salah is still making these statements about we're nowhere near a deal, etc. But he's had 30 goal involvements.
Yeah, but the thing about it, though, he doesn't play for Manchester United. United are always going to get the bigger headlines. People want to write about that more rather than what they do about Mo Salah and Liverpool, even though for me that's a big one for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool will get over him very, very quickly, like the same way they got over Klopp.
Yeah.
Because they're in a good position off the field, gives you so much of a better chance.
Now then, here's Fernandes down the left-hand side for Manchester United, but he can't quite get to the pace of the ball, and it dribbles out of play. We've had 18 and a half minutes. It's still bucketing with rain. Ruben Amorim is wearing a very stylish padded black jacket, which is zipped up all the way to the bottom of his beard.
Hardly got used in Portugal.
He probably didn't have one. No. Especially when he was playing sort of teams like down in Faro there. Never gets cold there, does it?
No.
Needs a whole new wardrobe. Here's Virgil van Dijk. He'll be pretty happy. They've got to 19 minutes without concession, although twice Liverpool have come close to taking the lead. Here's Van Dijk. It's a clever diagonal ball by him. It finds Alexander-Arnold, tries to find Salah. Well read by Dalot, who pinches it away from Liverpool's Egyptian king, and Bruno Fernandes has it on halfway for United. Clever ball forward by Fernandes. Dalot's onto it. Ahmad's in the middle. And he's got his header all wrong.
It's behind him.
He's headed it backwards. It was a good cross. Might still be something on for United. Mazraoui shoots. It hits Robertson. Kobe Mainoo deflected over. Well, United show for the first time. Amad Diallo, though, he must have got himself just in completely the wrong position. It was a brilliant ball by Fernandes down the line, and Dallow's cross was a decent one. Amad was onto it, and he just got ahead of the ball, didn't he?
Did. I initially see that pass, and I think to myself, he's got this, and all of a sudden he doesn't check his run, does he? No. He keeps running at full pelt, and he ends up.
He headed it backwards. He's injured his back.
His legs are in front of him as he heads it.
And he's a chance.
It was it's the best chance. Well, their only chance. But McAllister's one was down to a good save by Onana. Yeah. That was just down, really. I think Ahmad got his run a little bit wrong.
I mean, he's not a tall lad, and he's not a centre forward, but you'd expect a better header. I mean, Højlund probably would have met that better, you would hope, but we're looking at it again here. It's a lovely ball by Dalot.
A lovely ball,
and he's got acres. He's not under any pressure at all. He's just, as you say, he's timed his run so that by the time the ball reaches his head, he was a foot in front of it.
Yeah.
It's come off the back of his head. It's almost like a defensive header. And then the follow-up from Kobe Mainoo was deflected wide. Ahmad is now back on his feet. We've had 21 minutes, and Manchester United will have a corner, albeit Dalot not yet back on the pitch. And now we have this strange situation where he has to sit there and watch for a minute until they allow him to come. It's utterly ridiculous. Corner to United. Bruno Fernandes will take. It's an outswinger towards Maguire. Doesn't reach him. And suddenly Liverpool are on the counter with Trent Alexander-Arnold. And he's got away from... Well, he initially got away from De Ligt, but Michael Oliver has awarded a free kick. Alexander-Arnold's not very happy about that, because I think thinks the referee should have played on. I'm not sure who he's given it. Has he given it against Alexander-Arnold?
But then he wants to argue about it. He should have done his job better, shouldn't he, really? Tried to be too clever. He needed to move the ball a lot earlier than what he did.
United free kick, 15 yards inside the Liverpool half. It's pretty much dead centre. Fernandes rolls it in and then plays a 1-2 with Højlund and then swirls it back in. That's an inviting looking ball. Maguire heads it against teammate De Ligt. And the chance goes, but the flag is up anyway. That was, we've seen them getting confused. The two of the centre halves at the defensive end, they got confused at the attacking end there.
We certainly did, but Harry Maguire spoilt it by being offside initially.
Yes. I'm not sure it was going in, but he headed it on to De Ligt. Good delivery by Bruno Fernandes, whose last two touches have been very good. Now then, Salah is surely being held by Dalot. And that merits a booking. Yes, it is a booking. I was going to say that.
Do you know what? The way Michael Oliver's been going, if he'd have fouled and just let go straight away, I think he would have said OK. But because he kept hold of him for so long, it's embarrassing.
That's a booking,
it's embarrassing. Now, he's under pressure now, because those fans are going to be calling for it. And the thing about it, Dalot has done a great job, because Trent Alexander-Arnold does not want to defend.
No.
Doesn't want to defend. Wants to pretty little passes, but does not want to do what's actually written on the can for his job, and that is to stop people getting around the outside of him.
We're at the halfway mark in the opening half between these two great clubs where it's 0-0. Just a word about bookings. Because Liverpool have only played 18 games prior to today, there are players who could be suspended, whereas Manchester United don't have that. Here's Højlund. After 19 games, it becomes a question of 10 bookings. Højlund tries to cross. It's hoofed away by Konate, and United will have another corner. And they've been better, haven't they, the last 5 or 10 minutes, United?
Oh, they certainly are. I mean, at the moment in time, I think there's a few people loading a few humble pies in my bag at the moment in time. Because, I mean, they've just got slowly a little bit better, a little bit showing more belief in the attacking thirds.
At the moment, a draw would put Liverpool 6 points clear of Arsenal with a game in hand. Manchester United would move up a place above West Ham. If they win, they could move above Tottenham into 12th. They have a corner here and another set-piece opportunity. Bruno Fernandes with it. Decent delivery. There's a scramble for possession. It comes out to Bruno Fernandes again, who Rabonas it up towards the far post. I'm not convinced about Rabonas. I think with Rabonas, you're simply just making it more difficult for yourself. He didn't have to do that, did he?
No.
It actually wasn't a bad cross.
But it was unnecessary as well, though.
And the goalkeeper, Alisson, had no trouble because it went so high up in the air. He had ages to see it.
Oh, you mean, when he done it, actually his foot became a sandwich, didn't it? He had much height on it.
Yeah. Here's Diaz for Liverpool, who survived a couple of nervy moments. Robertson, back to Diaz again. Diaz plays it forward, intercepted by De Ligt, and kept in well by Ahmad. Oh no, it wasn't quite. Thought he had rescued the throw in there, but the assistant referee has signalled a throw to Liverpool. Arne Slot, hands in pockets, is mouthing instructions. I'm not sure whether they can be heard amid the roar of Anfield, but United fans will be pleased. 25 minutes, and they would take a goalless draw all day long, wouldn't they, in this fixture? Here's Mainu to Højlund, who gets in a tangle. Van Dijk plays an astute pass out of defence. Here's Alexander-Arnold. He's got Salah over on the far side. There's always danger when the ball's at his feet. He clips it into the box. It's headed away by Martinez, and then chipped cleverly by Bruno Fernandes to Mazraoui, who nutmegs Luis Diaz to huge roars from the Manchester United supporters, but it's with Martinez now, and now Dalot and Fernandes. I mean, they miss him. He was suspended for the last game against Newcastle, as was Ugarte, and as predicted, both of them came back in. I mean, one of the problems against Newcastle was, and you know, you'd have to question Amorim's judgment, I think, on this is pairing Casemiro and Eriksen, both of whom, you know, have both seen better days. They're both magnificent players in their prime, but both in their 30s and not looking as sharp and quick as they once were.
Yeah, well, I was at Spurs yesterday, and a lot of the media people, Newcastle media people, were talking about that.
Yeah.
They could not believe it when they saw that midfield, and I must say, Newcastle's three in that, Joe Linton,
good, Guimaraes and
Tonali, absolutely, as a free, they can all do different jobs, and there's no kind of I'm holding midfield player. I go up and I go back.
I agree.
So old-fashioned, but it's just
they're good.
They're so relevant in what they do. The energy levels they play at. Yeah. Fantastic three they've got. I must as well mention their front three are not too bad either. Jacob Murphy.
Jacob Murphy's been brilliant this season, hasn't he?
It's amazing. Yeah. When you look at him compared to the previous manager. And
here's Andy Robertson for Liverpool, looking to attack with 27 played. Gakpo, edge of the penalty area. Plays it to McAllister. It's not a very good ball. Gravenberch has to stretch, and in doing so slithers over, loses control. The ball goes out of play, but that was actually a poor ball to him by McAllister. And just goes a little bit quiet at Anfield. I think a lot of the Liverpool fans, maybe understandably, given the amount of goals they've scored lately, 14 of them in 3 games. Well, 6-3 against Tottenham, 3-1 against Leicester, 5-0 against West Ham. Would have thought maybe that they only needed to turn up, but that's never the case in any football, is it?
No. But they've ruffled them a little bit, Manchester United.
Yes, they have.
And like they've quelled the storm. The fans have died down. We remember all the booing early on when the players, they've stopped doing that. So they've earned a little bit of respect. Now they've got to keep it going now and what they're doing. Not suddenly thinking now we can go and do something different. Carry on what you're doing is decent, but go and add a little bit more in that final third. They've been up there and they've done quite well in there. I mean, the only thing that still concerns me is that they still haven't got a centre forward who you can link with. Because all the time the ball goes into Højlund, he's always fighting his first touch before he can even think about giving the ball to somebody.
It's a nice ball by Jones, but Trent Alexander-Arnold has stumbled over. United are certainly a lot happier than they were at Old Trafford in September when Liverpool absolutely battered them and won 3-0. Salah and Diaz both on target in that one, both of them prolific against Manchester United in recent games. Here's Van Dijk finding Robertson, and now it's Cody Gakpo, who's got a couple of goals against Manchester United, both of them in that 7-0 win. Here's Gravenberch, it's a great run, it's a good shot, and it's not far wide. Decent effort from Ryan Gravenberch, who's not renowned as a prolific goal scorer, but he drove through midfield there, and it wasn't far away.
No, he didn't hit that at the cleanest either, to be honest. It was always going away. With Onana, you're always a little bit worried. I was about to say, normally you can see by the way people dive how close it is. With Onana, you just don't know.
It's interesting that when Slot took over from Jurgen Klopp, I mean, a lot of the Liverpool people are saying, well, you know, what he's done is he hasn't changed anything really. Certainly it's the same formation, it's the same style. I mean, the one thing that is different, I think, is that Gravenberch is starting every week, and he deserves to. Slot has clearly spotted something in him that Klopp didn't or wasn't as impressed with, but he's been sensational.
Yeah, but he has changed the playing style a little bit. As you see now, Trent Alexander isn't suddenly being allowed to be a midfield player.
Here's Gakpo driving strongly through the United midfield, but dispossessed. Fernandes finds Dalot. Now it's Kobbie Mainoo, who of course had an incredible last year, scored the winner in an FA Cup final and ended up playing in a European Championships final. And still just 19 years old. Scored against Liverpool last season in a 2-2 at home. We've had half an hour. It's still 0-0. Liverpool have had 2 good chances. United have had half chances themselves. It's been a lot more even than many of us would have predicted. As Højlund tries to get in front of Konate and gets to the byline, and the sideline, I should say. Here's Mainoo, clips it into the box towards Amad Diallo. It eludes him, and Alisson, wearing all black other than his gloves and his boots, rolls the ball out underarm, and Liverpool will try and build again. They've won 12 of the last 14 games. They've only lost 1 in 31 across the 2 seasons. That was the game here when Callum Hudson-Odoi scored a beaut for Nottingham Forest. They actually meet Nottingham Forest in 9 days' time. It's a midweek game at the City Ground. That'll be interesting with the way that Forest have been playing this season. Forest still third, of course, after 19 games, the halfway mark. Forest third in the table. They were in a relegation battle with a points deduction this time last season. And they play Wolves tomorrow. You can hear that with us from Molineux tomorrow evening. Here's Curtis Jones for Liverpool. It's been a while since United have looked particularly troubled by the home team at the moment. That's a really good ball from Jones to Alexander-Arnold, who tries to cross. And it's a corner kick, I think, is it? Maybe not. He got to the byline, Trent Alexander. Good ball by Jones. Maguire was there to dispossess him.
And he got there in the end. He should have been across earlier because Martinez had stepped out, stepped forward. He should have been across into that gap to stop that ball going in there. In the end, he ends up having to chase.
32 minutes of deadlock. Andre Onana has made one excellent save, and that's just about the only real save of the game. Here's Gakpo, bit of space for him as Maguire stands off him. It's Gakpo driving forward, finds Salah over on the right-hand side. Infield to Alexander-Arnold, now Gravenberch. And Konate, reassuring presence back in the rear guard, although Joe Gomez has done well there for Liverpool. And he's unfortunately got injured. He'll be out for a few weeks. I was expecting Jarell Quansah to play, but Konate's back in training and has proved he's fit enough. Here's Gravenberch trying to feed it through. Mainu comes away for Manchester United. And here's Fernandes. Ball is intercepted. Van Dijk's in midfield, finds Luis Diaz. Excellent challenge by De Ligt. Manchester United fans enjoyed. That was a good, solid challenge. Here's Mazraoui trying to find Højlund. It's bounced in front of Robertson. Højlund has slithered over. Well, they're saying a free kick, but I think he lost his footing there rather than being fouled. But certainly the referee thought so.
He does it all the time.
Another crunching challenge from Maguire. To be fair to Manchester United, you get the impression that this back three are aware of the criticism, and the last couple of moments we've had some crunching and totally legal challenges, and the United fans are loving that.
Well, the difference is this time is that they're actually playing in front of the three. Newcastle are going in behind them.
Yeah.
That is the big difference.
Here's McAllister for Liverpool, who won't be frustrated yet, I don't think. They'll still believe, given the season that they've had, that there's a goal somewhere. They've scored 45 this season, more than anyone else. Here's Gravenberch out to Curtis Jones, who just jabs it back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, back to Jones again. Now it's Salah. Jones once more, misplaced pass. Alexander-Arnold has to go scampering back to regain possession. Here's Jones wearing 17, finds Gravenberch. Further out wide is Mo Salah looking to take on Dalot. Flicks it back to Gravenberch, crosses deep, up goes Gakpo, no contact. It'll fall to Robertson. Robertson back into the box, useful looking cross, good header by Maguire, and Fernandes gets it away. It's intercepted by Konate, and suddenly you hear the Kop find their voice. This is McAllister, thinks about a shot, instead plays a diagonal ball to Gakpo into the box, and it's Martinez away this time. Van Dijk is underneath it, heads it towards Robertson. Mazraoui with the clearance. United defending very well at the moment. And that's a clever ball by Ugarte to Fernandes. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Fernandes driving forward with Dalot alongside him. He's only got Højlund really inside the box. It's a really poor ball. And it's intercepted and then deflects back kindly to Alisson. And Liverpool survive, but Fernandes seemed to be caught in about three minds there, didn't he?
Well, the problem was there wasn't anything in front of him, to be honest, John. And Højlund only makes one run. He doesn't suddenly think to himself, well, this one ain't going to work, and change his run. He thinks he's done enough by the one.
Diaz is fouled by Ugarte in the centre of the field. It's a free kick to Liverpool. Uruguayan international back in the team after his suspension. Here's Salah for Liverpool. Cutting across the edge of the penalty area. Toe poking it to Gravenberch, who finds McAllister. McAllister to Robertson. Robertson midway inside the United half finds Konate. That's a good ball out to Alexander-Arnold. Low ball in. Easily cleared by United. Salah teases it forward. McAllister tries to control it. Mazraoui gets between him and the keeper and nods it back to Onana. Liverpool have just come to life a little bit more. If anything, the rain's coming down even harder now. They've had 5 attempts on goal, 2 on target. Liverpool, Manchester United, just the one effort so far. But I would say defensively, Manchester United have improved enormously since the game against Newcastle.
And definitely from the first 5-6 minutes of this game as well, they've definitely got a little bit more belief in it, but it's about what happens if they were to go behind. But to go in at half-time 0-0 with this performance behind them would stand them in good stead, to be honest.
They take it all day long. So a free kick to Liverpool, 37 minutes, to Manchester United I should say, 37 minutes played. Fernandes hits it long, Van Dijk is underneath it. It might drop for Ahmad, but there's a flag up there for an infringement, and Liverpool will have a free kick deep inside their own half, which Van Dijk rolls square to Ibrahimo Konate, the 25-year-old Frenchman who shrugged off a knee injury. Conor Bradley's also back in the squad for Liverpool to strengthen them. So other than Gomez, they don't have any injuries at the moment, which is important as well, because they've got a lot of games coming up. Liverpool 8 in 4 competitions over the next month. I mean, that's a heavy burden, isn't it? FA Cup, Carabao Cup, semi-final, of course, against Tottenham, the away leg of which is in midweek. That was a flick by McAllister that went harmlessly wide. 7 minutes to go to half-time. Still goalless here.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to go into those games knowing that you're on an unbeaten run.
Yeah.
You've got opportunities to go out, put you in positions to win medals. You don't feel tiredness or fatigue that way, John.
No, absolutely. I think that the League Cup team may differ a little bit. There'll be players on the bench today who probably will start at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs, of course, having a wretched time of things. We both watched them yesterday, and we both felt that he'd picked the wrong team and lost it in the first half. And they played quite well second half, Tottenham, but Newcastle managed their 6th consecutive win. They're now 5th in the table, just a point behind Chelsea and 2 behind Forest, who are 3rd, who play tomorrow. Arsenal dropping points. As it stands, Liverpool would go 6 points clear with a game in hand. The game in hand is the Merseyside derby. It's a bit like this one in the sense that, you know, Liverpool have 2 big rivals, Everton and Manchester United, and neither of whom you would think ordinarily with their current form would trouble Liverpool. United are at the moment. Everton, to be fair, are difficult to score against, but they never look like scoring, and they were beaten again yesterday. Everton
should have been by more. It was only Pickford who kept it from being about 4 at least.
Yeah, it was a disappointing performance. And pressure on Sean Dyche. Here's Kobbie Mainoo for Manchester United, who finds Ahmad. Mainoo again. Crosses by Martinez. It's very deep. It's nodded back in. I'm not sure it crossed the line. It didn't, or did it? No, it didn't. Play goes on. Here's Martinez for Manchester United. And good defending on the edge of the box. And then a free kick to Liverpool for an infringement. Martinez with the cross. It was very deep indeed. Almost went out of play. I think it did go out of play, actually. I think had that resulted in a goal, VAR would have disallowed that. Here's Ahmad. Good ball. It's Fernandes. Tries to toe poke it across to Haaland. It doesn't work out. And again, Fernandes is remonstrating with his players. This is what I don't like about his captaincy. He seems to harangue players when really you think a captain maybe should be a little bit more positive and say to them, this is what you should have done, rather than why did you know.
But I can see what he's saying is that Haaland, what I just said earlier, has initially made the run as the ball's going wide to go behind Van Dijk, and then he should have changed his run and gone towards the ball and in front of Van Dijk. That's what he's asking him. Haaland only makes one run. He will not make a second run. That's laziness.
4 minutes to go to half time. United with the throw in. Martinez square to De Ligt, who tries to find Alexander-Arnold. It comes in for United. Van Dijk with an easy header away. And now it's Jones for Liverpool, but he's got in a tangle in midfield and lost the ball to Ugarte. Ugarte's been good in the centre of midfield for United. He has energy and ball-winning capacity, doesn't he?
And he knows how to keep a ball, keep his body in a position where people can't nick it off his toes.
If he can stay fit and avoid suspensions, I think he'll be a fixture there under Amorim, won't he?
I think fitness ain't the problem, it's about not getting yellow cards. That's
what I mean.
I think that's for everybody.
Ball over the top. Here's Haaland. He's inside the Liverpool box. It's a chance. And it's saved by Alisson. The follow-up by Fernandes is blocked, and then McAllister hooks it away. That's the most clear-cut chance United have had. And the fans who've made the short trip at the Anfield Road end are encouraged by that. Liverpool survive. Haaland was onside, and it was a good save. But at the other end, here's Mo Salah. Maguire trying to get back. Salah taking on Martinez, and in the end producing a shot which is way short of what he's normally capable of. But we're going to see a replay here of Haaland, who was definitely onside, no question about that. Trent Alexander-Arnold got completely lost, and it was a good save by Alisson.
Just when he got to that ball, Haaland, I just didn't believe he was going to score from there, to be perfectly honest. Yes, Alisson's come out and made the angle very difficult, and he's hit him straight in the chest. He hasn't had to work at all. It wasn't off his toe or off a hand or anything. He's hit him in the middle of his chest.
There are certain players who, when they're one-on-one, you absolutely put your money. I mean, going back, Thierry Henry, Michael Owen, those sort of players, Erling Haaland, of course. Now he's sacked these days as well. Yeah. But I'm not sure Haaland falls into that. He falls into the more sort of category, will he, won't he? I mean, he's...
just by the way his game's been so far, John, I didn't have any belief in him.
He's got 7 goals in 22 appearances this season, but only 1 in the last 8, which for an out-and-out striker is not good enough when you compare his record with other front men in the division. His last couple of goals actually came in an away win at Vitoria Pilsen in the Czech Republic. That was in the Europa League, which, of course, Manchester United are involved in. The next game in that competition is against Rangers. That'll be a feisty affair. It's an Anglo-Scottish rivalry there. That's coming up at Old Trafford. The next league game is at home to Southampton. Goodness me, they'll be expecting to win that. Southampton beaten 5-0 at home by Brentford, who hadn't won an away game all season.
I wish you hadn't told me that, John. I'm just enjoying this at the moment in time. I never thought I'd actually say that as well.
No, you are. Yeah, well, you did say to me right at the beginning, enjoy is the wrong word. Are you enjoying it?
I am at this moment in time.
Well, there you go. Oh, ye of little faith. Here's Ahmad finding Mazraoui, but Liverpool have won it back with Gakpo. Great sliding challenge by Kobbie Mainoo. There seems to be more of an aggressive streak about United in this game than I've seen in recent weeks.
Yeah, the problem is we've seen that a little bit of this before in the last game they won against Man City.
Yeah.
So it's all well and good doing. This game is big, but if they were to get a result in it, the next game is even bigger.
Yeah. Well, the next game is Arsenal away in the Cup. That'll be interesting. And then Southampton at home, and then Brighton, who haven't won for a while, but a very, very capable side. They held Arsenal yesterday. Here's Fernandes for Manchester United. We're bang on 45. Kobbie Mainoo sees his pass intercepted by Trent Alexander-Arnold. 2 minutes will be added on at the end of the first half with the rain lashing down at Anfield. Great play by Gravenberch. Then Salah. Here's Diaz. Can he find space for a shot? No, he's crowded out. Gravenberch sees his effort blocked. Maguire tries to clear, and eventually Mazraoui scrapes it up towards halfway for Manchester United. But the Liverpool fans sense there will be time for another attack from their team, and here it comes with Trent Alexander-Arnold trying to find Salah. It's a very poor ball by his standards. He's put it in front of Salah. It's gone out of play for a goal kick, and United are relieved. Bit of a scramble in the box there, but once again the defence did fairly well.
Well, they were just compact as well, so if one didn't get it, the other. And what they've done as well, they remain disciplined. No one's really gone in there looking to win the ball. I know sometimes you want to do it, but you just, given the way the game is now about penalties, you have to virtually flick it away from people's feet and hope that it gets somewhere where you can actually put your foot through it without actually worrying about colliding with anybody.
We're in the final minute of the 47. Here's Dalot for Manchester United on halfway. He's giving it away carelessly, and McAllister might instigate another Liverpool attack, but he's lost it now to Fernandes on halfway, who finds Mazraoui. Mazraoui with room to cross. They're going to have to get a move on because the clock is against them. This is Ahmad back to De Ligt, but it's rather ambitionless from Manchester United. It's gone all the way back, and they're just maybe they're just happy to get inside at half-time knowing they haven't conceded, which, as I said, I mean, you were predicting 3-0. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was more than that pre-game, but at the moment, United have done pretty well. I mean, that's a strange ball by Maguire. What's he done there?
Always lucky.
It didn't matter because the half-time whistle saved him. Terrible ball by Maguire, put it out of play, but it doesn't matter because Manchester United have played a lot better than in recent weeks. That's not necessarily saying much, but they've frustrated Liverpool, who've only really had a couple of sights of goal. One great save by Onana to deny McAllister, and then Gakpo with a shot wide, while at the other end Højlund tested Alisson. So at half-time at a very wet Anfield, it's Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0 on Premier League Live.
Previously on White and Jordan.
10% of the broadcast revenue of this country goes to 72 clubs and 90 goes to the Premier League. Look at the television companies biting people's arms off to have football all day, every day.
Extreme.
What's up, soccer fans? halftime. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon, your evening, whatever it may be, wherever in the world that you are. We really appreciate you being here. Please be on the lookout. Turn on that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Manchester United game. All kinds of EAFC content with our man, True Killer, on Discord and X. If you need your Champions League games played on EAFC, reach out at TrueKiller_ on Discord and on X and chat it up with True. See if you guys can work out him playing your games and elevating your team to the next level. We're going for rank 1 today. True is on the game for SOPSC. Can't wait to bring you guys some clips and whatnot. So let's have some fun here in the chat. Go refill those cocktails. Mine is just water. No, it is not vodka. It is just water. Go, man, you go. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys real soon in the chat.
What's going on, Toronto sports fans? My name is Connor. I am one of the mods you see in almost every single Toronto Sports Insider stream. I'm in there chatting it up about whether it's the college football playoffs, the Maple Leafs, the Raptors, and come this soccer season, Toronto FC. Now, I wanted to come on here because I have been a friend of Mike's for a long time, ever since the old Sons of Pitch soccer days, and I wanted to tell you guys about my channel. My channel specifically, Connor Knows Soccer. Now, what I do over at Connor Knows Soccer is pretty simple. I do Columbus Crew live watch-alongs, and if something catches my eye, I do a news video about it. My goal is to hit 100 subscribers by the end of 2024 or early 2025. Currently sitting at 82 at the time of this recording. So, if I'm allowed, the link will be in the chat or pinned. I don't really know what's going to go on there. Please go over there, take a look at my stuff, and hit subscribe. Even if soccer is not your thing, hitting that subscribe button and the like button on some of the streams and the videos, it lets YouTube know that you like the content I put out, and it pushes it out towards other people and recommends it to other people. So yeah, my goal is to hit 100 subs by the end of 2024 and early 2025. And it would be absolutely fantastic if you guys could help me reach that goal. And who knows, maybe you'll stick around for some of the crew watch-alongs this upcoming season. Again, guys, my name is Connor, and my channel is called Connor Knows Soccer. That's K-O-N-O-R Knows Soccer. Hope to see you guys in the chat. Go Crew, go Leafs. Enjoy the rest of your game.
Wide, and that was a good opportunity.
It's not about De Ligt, it's about Højlund. Højlund switched off because Gakpo was just standing to his left and he's just following the ball. Hasn't seen Gakpo nip off with his shoulder and get him behind.
Mo Salah controls it neatly on the far side. Clips it into the box. McAllister! That's a brilliant save by Onana. It was a lovely chip into the box by Salah. McAllister was onto it. He hit it firmly and accurately on the half volley, and Onana made a super block.
Harry Maguire's got sucked out on the outside of the post. He should have been in that middle, seen the runner and picked the runner out and saying to Mainu, stay out there. There's no communication within this back through. The man in the middle doesn't speak.
All over the top. Here's Højlund. He's inside the Liverpool box. It's a chance. And it's saved by Alisson. The follow-up by Fernandes is blocked, and then McAllister hooks it away. That's the most clear-cut chance United have had.
Just when he got to that ball, Højlund, I just didn't believe he was going to score from there, to be perfectly honest. Yes, Alisson's come out and made the angle very difficult, and he's hit him straight in the chest. He hasn't had to work at all. It wasn't off his toe or off a hand or anything. He's hit him in the middle of his chest.
Well, there you are. It's goalless at half-time. Paul Parker, I think, was ready for a bit of a horror show at Anfield, but it hasn't really been like that for United, has it? They've had a couple of scares early on. Other than that, they've created one good chance themselves. I would imagine you're overall reasonably happy.
Well, I'm still here, ain't I, John, really, to be honest. I haven't once looked at you kind of pleading, those kind of, my eyes looking,
Your cow eyes.
Yeah, can I go? No, it's been very good. Initially, you saw it there early on, you think, here it goes, it's winding up, and they quelled that storm, quietened the crowd, as the saying goes, and now you can just, they've made, I mean, you think about Diallo's opportunity where his legs have gone quicker than what he should have done, and you've seen they had that one-on-one there at an angle where you think the keeper should have been worked better by Hoyland, but they've done well in midfield. They've been steady with their passing, doing it slowly, maybe over-elaborating a bit at the back with Harry Maguire, too much time spent on the ball and going backwards. But it's been a very, very good away performance at Anfield by Manchester United.
Liverpool poor or United good, or both?
I would say both. I think I'm not going to come out and say that it's been about Liverpool being poor. I think they've just done really well against them. They haven't allowed themselves to be overruled by them. But it's about to see then, are they going to try more to get Salah on the ball against Dalot? Because the more Salah goes forwards and causes problems, Dalot can't get forwards, and then the further he pushes on, that will allow Trent Alexander-Arnold to step in and then maybe get on the ball more. So, each to their own, really. Who's going to be the bravest?
Yeah, I mean, much was talked about Liverpool's celebrated front three and Man United's under pressure back three, but I'd say it's the United three who've largely kept the likes of Diaz and Salah pretty quiet.
They've done really well. They've been strong, but everything's been in front of them at the moment. I said to you, John, they haven't gone in behind to check out the pace of the back three. If it was going to be a race between the three of them, I would go maybe De Ligt is the quickest out of them. Harry Maguire is 100% the slowest. So we've seen him as well. I mean, he's playing in that role, and like I said before, you don't have to be the quickest to play in there, but you have to think quicker. You have to sense and see danger. Harry Maguire doesn't do that. He's not picking up the spare man, and that's what he's there for. So I just think that they're going to utilise it a little bit better, their players in that front line, and when they got in early off the fact of movement, and they'll do that better in the second half, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's level here. It was level in the previous game earlier today. Fulham against Ipswich, a draw at Craven Cottage, watched by Ben Jacobs.
Fulham 2, Ipswich 2, a strange game in many ways as Ipswich missed the opportunity to move out of the bottom three, but it might prove a welcome point for them come the end of the season. Fulham offered limited threat in the first half, and then Sami Szmodic gave the visitors the lead on 38 minutes after Ben Johnson's header hit the bar, and Szmodic was able to drive home the rebound via a deflection off Calvin Bassey. The second half then saw two quick-fire penalties in the space of just 2 minutes. First, Sam Morsy needlessly flicked out at Harry Wilson, and Raúl Jiménez put Fulham level with a low finish into the left corner. But then at the other end, an equally poor challenge from Timothy Castagna on Liam Delap handed Ipswich the advantage once again. Delap's confident finish put the visitors 2-1 ahead and made it 8 league goals for the in-form striker. But then deep into injury time, Leif Davis clumsily fouled Jiménez, and the Mexican scored again from the spot to extend Fulham's unbeaten run to 8 matches. Ipswich will feel they did enough to win the game, but were ultimately undone by rash defending. Full time from Craven Cottage, where it's finished. Fulham 2, Ipswich 2.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, frustration for Ipswich, who twice led. They're still in the bottom three, albeit only by goal difference from Wolves. But of course, Wolves play Nottingham Forest tomorrow. Let's hear from one of the Ipswich players, Ben Johnson, the fullback, who says that they're really going to have to start turning performances into wins.
I feel like we're doing well. Like, we're definitely not out of it. We just need to keep going, believe in ourselves, and I believe that when we improve our self-belief, continue to keep going, there's going to be maybe draws there, and then we maybe nick a goal late on. And the Chelsea result on Monday, that was one that probably people weren't expecting. So I think we can build on it. Over the Christmas period, we've done all right. Like, I don't think people can expect us to win every game. Like, that's not what's going to happen. We'd love to, but that's just unrealistic.
That's Ben Johnson, who's related to Paul Parker.
Yeah, Ben's mum, my cousin.
Oh yeah,
and
is he a good lad?
Oh, he's a good
Seems
lad.
like he
yeah,
talks well, doesn't he?
He does talk very well.
Yeah.
Like my other cousin as well. I don't think anyone knows.
It's obviously
as well.
on that side of the family, isn't it? Talking well.
Oh, yeah, it must be. Yeah, definitely. He's ex centre half for Spurs.
It was. Is that where he started? He was at West Ham, wasn't he?
No, he was at West Ham. No, my other cousin.
Oh,
is,
your other cousin. Oh, Ledley King. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing about both of them is both of them are 6 foot plus. What happened to me?
You got short-changed in the gene pool there, didn't
Christ,
you?
boom,
Ledley's twice your height, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Wait.
Don't be silly. Now, that's silly, that is, John. You should be better than
I'm
that.
exaggerating for dramatic effect, as I do. Anyway, the second half of this game is almost upon us. We'll take a short break, and then we'll have the whole of the second half for you on Premier League Live.
Previously on White and Jordan.
No one buys a football club until that football club is in absolute distress.
But the fans look at it differently.
Comments, conflict and confrontation.
Well, who creates hell most of the time? The media whip up the Ferrari.
Hold on. Even better than Carradine.
Let me finish this.
Here we go.
Disagree to disagree.
Jim White and Simon Jordan.
I mean, do me a favour.
Continues weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Week in the Tackle with Brian Dunseth and Tom Rennie is a weekly podcast where we tackle the biggest stories from the world of soccer.
Soccer? What the hell's happened to you, man?
You guys just won't let that go, will you?
What's next? You going to take an elevator to your apartment where you use a cell phone to order takeout?
You mean the lift to my flat where I'll use my mobile to order a takeaway?
A Week in the Tackle is a weekly football podcast tackling the biggest stories from the Premier League, Major League Soccer, the Champions League, and more. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts.
Talk Sport Drive.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on Talk Sport.
Talk Sport Drive with me, Darren Bent.
And me, Andy Goldstein.
Sports radio that's guaranteed to go the distance.
Move up through the gears with all the day's sports.
Daily football debates, plus a bootload of banter.
Watch the lights. Release the clutch. Drive!
Talk Sport Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on Talk Sport.
The fastest football on the way home.
That's going to come back to haunt me, that one, isn't it?
Global events.
What is the difference between a humanitarian pause and a ceasefire in the conflict?
Reactive analysis.
There's a lot of anxiety about this. We'll speak to the people involved.
From the world's best journalists.
People who can provoke your thoughts on the news and issues of the day.
We'll make sure you're fully briefed on what's leading the world of politics.
Times Radio is available to listen without a subscription on DAB digital radio, online, via the Times Radio app, and on your smart speaker. Times Radio.
Previously on White and Jordan.
These guys are lemmings. All they do is follow one another. Everyone gets a tattoo. Everyone drives the same cars. They all have the same haircuts. But when it comes to it, they don't learn from one another's lessons.
Fight or flight. Jordan or White.
It's not surprising that when you get a big bag of money on top of it, you get your mind out of whack.
The egos have landed. Jim White and Simon Jordan continues weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Reasons to like TalkSport. 1, 2, 3. Football, golf and cricket, your season ticket. A punt on a whippet and goals. A bit of Super Alley, the dance at Alley Pally. The next at Abbey Valley and Grand Green Bowls. Addy on the Depot, the old firm live from Glasgow. Leather on the Willow, plus Perry Groves. Premier League footballers, runners, riders, ballers. Lots of angry callers and anecdotes.
Don't be a blockhead. Listen to TalkSport on DAB Digital Radio 1089 and 10:53 AM on the app and on your smart speaker.
TalkSport.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Manchester United at Liverpool from Anfield. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Manchester United and England defender, Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. Well, it's been absolutely ugly afternoon in terms of the weather. A lot of the fans are wearing transparent cagoules that have been handed out to try and keep the rain off. It's not relented at all. The game has been a little bit miserable, it has to be said, in terms of goal-mouth action. Manchester United won't mind that because they've largely restricted Liverpool. Had a couple of early chances, the league leaders, but didn't really push home the advantage. And Rasmus Højlund had a good chance to get Manchester United in front. I don't imagine there'll be too many changes from either manager at half-time, but of course Liverpool have plenty in reserve, the likes of Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott, Diogo Jota, of course, and Federico Chiesa, who's barely figured for a number of reasons, is on the bench as well. And the rain is like cascading off the roof of one of the stands like a waterfall at Anfield, as Manchester United, in their change strip of all white, come out. They're being booed by the Liverpool fans, but to be fair, the visiting fans, who must have feared the worst, are possibly even thinking they might nick it here.
Well, I don't think they'll go as far as that. They're just happy to come out second half and still be in this game. That's the main thing. They're expecting the players to go and repeat. At the end of the day, if Liverpool do go and score and United have performed as what they've done already, then they would accept that, because it's a big lift from the last game they saw.
Yeah.
A massive lift.
It certainly is. They were 2-0 down against Newcastle at this stage in their previous match. Ruben Amorim retakes his seat in the driving rain. He doesn't look particularly happy, but I think inside he'll be probably a lot more pleased than Arne Slot is, because Liverpool haven't really reached the heights that they've set generally this season. And so Michael Oliver, the referee, is about to get us underway for the second half. Liverpool are attacking the Kop in the second period, wearing all red, as Alexander-Arnold drives the ball forward. It's headed back by Maguire, and then McAllister back for Liverpool. And Dalot trying to get forward early on, dispossessed by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Here's Salah finding McAllister, World Cup winner with Argentina, plays it across field to the Scotland captain, Andy Robertson. This is Curtis Jones. Rather like the first half, where we said the first 10 minutes would be important for Manchester United. I suspect the second half will be the same.
Oh, without a doubt.
Alexander-Arnold to Salah, who hasn't really had even half a glimpse of goal yet. This is Gravenberch. Salah again, near side, rolls it into Trent Alexander-Arnold. Curtis Jones to Gravenberch once more, as Liverpool try and penetrate what's been a robust Manchester United rear guard so far. No changes, as I've said. Liverpool have Alisson in goal. Back four of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ibrahima Konate, Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson. Across midfield, it's Alexis McAllister, Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch. Then Mo Salah, Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. For Manchester United, Andre Onana is in goal. The back three is Matthijs de Ligt, Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez. Across midfield, Diogo Dalot, Kobbie Mainoo, Manuel Ugarte and Noussair Mazraoui. And up front, Ahmed, Rasmus Højlund and Bruno Fernandes, who's shown some good touches. Here's Andy Robertson for Liverpool, winning the first corner of the second half off Mazraoui, and that's brought Anfield to life.
Well, it is the first time they've shown any great energy since his half has kicked off, Liverpool. And it was just Andy Robertson, really. He was looking for it, and he's just burst through, to be perfectly honest. Mazraoui's done a good job.
Liverpool have won 10 of their last 11 home games. The only team in that spell to deny them and frustrate them has been Fulham. Here's Alexis McAllister, 2 minutes gone in the second half, looking to make a set piece pay. Van Dijk is up there, so too is Konate. It's going to be an in-swinger from the Argentinian, or it will be, when referee Michael Oliver has had a quiet word with the likes of Ugarte and Van Dijk inside that penalty area. McAllister does deliver. It's awkward, it's in swinging. Onana punches, Konate can't get there. It falls for Salah, and Ugarte throws himself at the ball and manages to block it. But that was uneasy from the Manchester United goalkeeper. It was an in-swinging corner. He got up and he punched onto Konate's head. Konate then couldn't turn and shoot, and Ugarte twice made vital interceptions for United.
Yeah, I mean, you're just seeing that ball going and bobbling around. You're seeing people swinging legs, people trying to put legs in front of people for them to get kicked. has become not good business in that box anymore from dead ball situations. The biggest one of all was Onana not being decisive.
Exactly, and that won't give confidence to his defenders. But here's Dalot for United, counter-attacking. Diogo Dalot shoots, and Virgil van Dijk smothers, and United have a corner, having conceded one a moment ago at the other end. It was Højlund who got the flick, and Trent Alexander-Arnold lost Dalot, but was rescued by Van Dijk.
He's vulnerable. Every time that ball goes in and around him or behind him, he's vulnerable on that side. That's why Dalot has been quite an attacking threat on that side. If I was playing next to him, I'd be screaming at him. They must be screaming at him because he cost them. The centre-halves were having to run out so far because of having to cover him.
Corner to Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes with it. Maguire is up there, didn't get a touch. It looked presentable. It's come out to Mazraoui, who gets past Diaz, crosses it. Diving header away by Konate, and then hoofed away. But United pick it up on halfway. Here's Ahmad. Forward to Bruno Fernandes again. The Manchester United captain clips it into the box. Maguire is still up there from the corner. Liverpool clear. It falls for Kobbie Mainoo, who can't quite get the ball under his feet, and it's hoofed away by Liverpool towards Salah, but Martinez does well with the clearance, and then United rescue the situation in midfield, and it's the away fans you can hear cheering at the moment as Fernandes switches the play to Mazraoui. Over on the far side, it's Mazraoui to Ahmad. Ahmad, he's fallen over, slithered over in the wet, rainy surface, which is a shame because they got inside them there.
They certainly did, and the thing about it, Diallo going down like that, it seemed to confuse Van Dijk. He ends up, he touches that, but he takes it out for a throw into Manchester United.
He should have just put his foot on the ball.
And the thing about Van Dijk, every time something goes wrong, he's tried to look around for someone to blame for it.
There was no one to blame for that but himself, that's for sure. Here's Maguire for United, who have been bright with 5.5 minutes into the second half. This is Mainoo. Back to Maguire. Much, much better from Manchester United today. But there's a long way to go. But at the moment, they're playing quite well. Here's Mazraoui over on the far side. Back it goes to Matthijs de Ligt. And now Maguire, as United slow it down. Maguire drives it to this near side. Dalot collects and looks to get past Alexander-Arnold. He's done that again. He tries to get to the byline. Dalot clips it into the box. It's a useful looking cross, but there's no one there, only Højlund. And in the end, it was headed away by Van Dijk. But that's the second time this half that Alexander-Arnold's looked vulnerable. Here's Martinez finding Fernandes. United the better team at the moment at Anfield. Can they produce a shock result? Fernandes. Here's Martinez. He scored. Manchester United lead at Old Trafford. Lisandro Martinez, the centre-half, has lashed it in off the bar with his left foot. Pandemonium at that end of Anfield. This could be a major shock. It's Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1, 7 minutes played second half.
Oh, look at the camera. I'm looking at the cameramen. They're stuck underneath that as well. But I have to turn around and say is that Fernandes was absolutely brilliant. What a reverse pass that was. And when it goes to Martinez, he's a little bit shocked. But he hits it high at the near post because Alisson and keepers normally go low and back. But what a wonderful finish. They deserve it the way they've started. The main thing, the most difficult thing now is, as you know with Liverpool, when they go 1-0 down, you've poked the bear.
Alexander-Arnold's had a poor start to the first half. It was he that gave it away initially. And then Martinez found Fernandes. Really good reverse pass. Martinez maintained his position, and for a centre-half, that's a terrific finish. Mo Salah would have been proud of that off his left foot. He's hammered that in an angle off the crossbar. My goodness me, are we going to see a major shock? And make no mistakes, it would be a major shock.
Oh, it's a massive shock. I'm just looking here and I've got my defensive head on. I'll be screaming at Trent Alexander-Arnold. He has walked, he gave the ball away, and he has walked around, and he's allowed Martinez just to go in behind him, and he's watched Fernandes with the ball, and not even a jog. It's disgraceful what he's gone and done there. No wonder the camera's panned in towards him, because even they know that was wrong. That was poor defending.
It was. I'm guessing that Senora Martinez is about to have a baby because he's stuck the ball up his jumper and sucked his thumb in celebration. And it was at the Anfield Road end where all the United fans are. Gakpo at the other end is claiming a foul by Mazraoui, which is not given. So it's absolutely fascinating now. Hamad Diallo, in the midst of all of that, has been yellow carded. I'm not entirely sure what for, but he's gone into the book. Remember, of course, he was sent off for removing his shirt in celebration. One of the most ridiculous sendings off I've ever seen. The poor lad, he comes on, he scores an incredible goal at the end of an amazing game. All he does is takes his shirt off and he gets sent off. I think they need to change that. Well, I don't care about people taking their shirts off, do you?
No, but they're saying it's about what, showing off their bare chest. Well, I mean, what a load of rubbish.
It's not women's football, is it?
No, well.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I mean,
I don't think anyone, no one would complain about that.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I think it's a daft rule. You pick up, some of the things that people get bookings for that are thoroughly deserved that could even be red card. You get sent off for celebrating a goal. It's ridiculous. Now then, here's Alexander-Arnold, certainly been at fault early in the second half on a number of occasions, and he's put the ball out of play. His confidence has disappeared, Alexander-Arnold. Lisandro Martinez has scored his first goal of the season. In fact, it's only his second goal for Manchester United. The previous one came a year ago at Arsenal in a defeat. Is it going to be in a victory at Liverpool? Anfield is stunned. Just listen to the crowd. Literally, there's only one set of fans singing. The rest are just sitting back, unable really to quite comprehend what's happened.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They've definitely ruffled them without a shadow of a doubt. And just by the way they're playing now, they're very disciplined. They're not going to sit back and just hope it's going to happen. They're still trying to make it happen by staying in the game and causing problems, knowing the onus is on Liverpool to step on and go beyond.
Here's Dalot. Can they get a second? He plays it in. It's a good ball in towards Highland. The header is by Konate. It could drop anywhere. Alexander-Arnold doesn't take control. Here's Kobbie Mainoo. And it's parried by Alisson, and suddenly Liverpool are all over the place.
He's doing it again. The fans now are questioning Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's let that ball bounce on the 6-yard line and not even attempted to get his body around it. That was shocking.
Corner to United, leading by a goal to nil. Arne Slot, hands deep in his pockets in the rain, which has relented slightly. But figuratively, the rain is coming down for Liverpool because they are trailing. And at the moment, they're in danger of going further behind. Fernandes, who set up the goal, will take the corner. Alisson's there, punches firmly, headed away by Diaz, and then a touch by Salah, and that's better from Alexander-Arnold. And Diaz is driving forward for Liverpool. He's got support to his left-hand side. He's played a dreadful ball. It was intended for Salah, but he got it all wrong, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick.
Yes, I mean, they should have done better. They just got themselves in a good area from a good pass from Trent Alexander-Arnold, but the problem is they just didn't show enough discipline at the end of it, Liverpool. They're getting very anxious.
A victory for Manchester United would lift them 2 places above West Ham and Tottenham Hotspur, who would slip down to 13th and 14th respectively. Liverpool would remain, as they started the day, 5 points clear of Arsenal with a game in hand. It's a good, healthy advantage, but if they lose this one, I mean, not quite apart from the fact that it's Manchester United and all that, they will be hurting because they could have gone 8 points clear with a game in hand. But as it is, they're going to have to work hard. There is still plenty of time for them. We're only in the 58th minute, and Arne Slot is already, I think, going to make some alterations to his team.
Yeah.
With activity on the bench.
We've seen it too many times when Liverpool go behind and then suddenly they come back. I mean, just the players they've got. I mean, they've got Nunez sitting there. They've got Jota, and every time Jota comes off the bench, he scores or makes a goal.
Well, he's they've never lost a Premier League game that he's scored in, Jota, Liverpool.
Well, just to the fact of he comes on and he'll be buzzing around those 3 at the back.
It's a free kick to Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold has swirled it into the Manchester United box. Header away is by Maguire. Comes to Ugarte, who hammers it up towards halfway, where it's greeted by Gravenberch, who finds McAllister. McAllister, good ball. Here's Gakpo. Gakpo! He's equalised. Brilliant goal. And Liverpool within 6 minutes of going behind, have levelled it up, and Cody Gakpo has stroked it into the net. He got 2 in the 7-0 win against Manchester United here the season before last, and this one has made it all square, and Liverpool have struck back immediately.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm not surprised. I've seen it happen too many times when teams go in front. When Liverpool at a low ebb, when they seem to get that goal back and then they bounce forward again, you just can't switch off, and you just see this the way they've gone. And I'm looking here for offside. Harry Maguire's played him on. There's no doubt about that. And he steps inside. He uses De Ligt's effort to get back and just slips inside of him, Gakpo. And then again, it's like the finish of Martinez. He just goes high, knowing that the keeper's going to lean back. And the difference is Onana hasn't moved compared to Alisson.
It's a great goal. He's put De Ligt on his backside, hasn't he? And then he's swept it beautifully. No chance for the United goalkeeper. Cody Gakpo has his 13th goal of the season. He's now scored in 3 consecutive games. Scored against Leicester and against West Ham. Although we are checking for a possible offside, but not for long. The goal is given. VAR, of course, has to get involved. No idea why, because Paul Parker said correctly at the time Harry Maguire is playing him onside. So why on earth VAR decides to intervene, I don't know. But anyway, they're going to make changes, Liverpool, anyway. And Darwin Núñez is going to replace Luis Diaz up front. Diaz has had a quiet game by his standards. It's exactly an hour played. It's one apiece, and suddenly it's an absolutely gripping game. Curtis Jones has also gone off, and he's been replaced by Diogo Jota, who, as I mentioned, they've never lost in 51 Premier League games that he has scored in, and the latest of which for Jota was in that win against West Ham. It was the coup de grace that made it 5-0, and it was his 100th goal in league football for both Wolves and Liverpool. So he's a good man to have on.
Yeah, I would say as well at this moment in time.
Here's Alexander-Arnold, sorry Paul, to break in. Here's Salah, early ball into the box, a stooping header away by Maguire, and United have just about dealt with that. But this game really now is at fever pitch, because Liverpool fans were stunned, but they're now rediscovered their voices, and it's the Manchester United fans who are thinking, we had a lead, we haven't got a lead anymore. But they're playing well enough, United, to get another goal.
They are, but what they've done, as I said before, they poked the bear. So now Núñez has come on, Jota's come on. Attacking-wise, they're better than the way they started the game. Both those players have got pace. United's back three hasn't got pace. They have to get back and get control of the ball now, Manchester United.
Here's Kobbie Mainoo finding Diogo Dalot on the left-hand side. Looks to cut in field. Goes round the outside of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Cross in, Højlund's there. So too is Van Dijk. But United will have a corner, and again, I mean, I'd have to say Trent Alexander-Arnold's having an absolute terrible half, and Van Dijk is having a good one.
Spot on. He's had a go at him. He's told him to be strong.
Yes.
It's weak defending.
Well,
every
another
single
corner
time.
to Manchester United. This is some game now, some atmosphere as well, inside Anfield. Bruno Fernandes will take the corner. They've seen their lead go, and they want to regain it. Fernandes right-footed, in swinger. Alisson again punches, but punches well. Martinez back in. It's away by Gravenberch, and then a long ball by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Brilliantly read by Ugarte. That was brilliant by Ugarte, because the centre-halves had gone forward. He put himself back. Brilliant intervention. Here's Fernandes for Manchester United. Finds Maguire. This is Ahmad. Onto his right foot, thinks about a shot. Tries to tee up Mazraoui. Mazraoui into the box. Højlund's there, but it's a flick header to take it behind off Konate. And United have another corner. This is terrific stuff now.
It certainly is. United haven't just sat back and thinking, oh, OK, we've got in front, we've lost it, oh, we've done enough now. They're trying to get another goal. And to be honest, initially when that went Fernandes, it was a terrible run by Højlund. It was terrible. He's just not involved. You can't play off of him. Very difficult player to find.
63rd minute. Another corner to United. Short this time by Fernandes to Ahmad. Ahmad towards the back post. Højlund makes contact. There were screams for something, maybe handball, I'm not sure who, by whom, against what, but it's irrelevant because Liverpool are coming forward now with Darwin Núñez on as a substitute. He's been fouled by De Ligt, who will be booked, and is.
Yeah, that was a silly foul by De Ligt. I don't know really what Dalot was doing. Dalot didn't make a challenge on him, and he's gone inside of him, through his legs far too easy. De Ligt didn't really have to do that. But as they say, he took one for the team to stop that counter.
Yeah, yes, he did.
We just saw Højlund there when that ball come in. He's more concerned about the player than looking at the ball. If he looks at the ball, he might have been able to attack it. He's 6 yards out.
The problem United have is, as Liverpool get the ball into the box and it glances off the head of Maguire for a corner, is of course, I mean, the obvious replacement for Højlund, I say obvious, would be Xerxes, but he's so short of confidence. I mean, you felt for him when he was subbed after half an hour against Newcastle. Well, he's on the bench and he's the obvious like for like, but you'd probably be tempted with the way that Xerxes' head is at the moment to probably persist with Højlund. Anyway, Liverpool have a corner. Andy Robertson will swing it in with his left foot in the 20th minute of an exciting second half in which both teams have scored. Here's the cross. It's headed away by Maguire. It comes to Salah, who chips it back in. Fernandes can't get there. Robertson with a half-volleyed ball. It's headed away by Dalot. And then a touch by Fernandes takes it back, and Alexander-Arnold rolls it back to Ryan Gravenberch, who's got Diogo Jota potentially in support over on the far side. Here is Jota now getting his first touch of the game. He scored 4 goals in previous games against Manchester United for his 2 clubs, Diogo Jota. Liverpool fans now sensing another victory could be on the cards. That equaliser, of course, means that once again, as it stands, Liverpool would be 6 points clear of Arsenal with the game in hand. Here comes McAllister, edge of the box. Shot is miles off target from the right foot of the Argentine World Cup winner, who acknowledges his rather poor attempt.
Yeah, it's a little bit rash on his side there. I mean, still 25 minutes to go, and he seemed like he was having a panic up, desperation state. Yeah. That's not Liverpool's way.
We're looking at Gakpo's goal again. It's a really good finish. It's a rising shot that absolutely whizzed into the far corner, beautifully placed into the roof of the net. And a salute from Gakpo in celebration of what it could be a crucial goal for Liverpool. Maguire has put the ball out of play. Alexander-Arnold takes the throw very quickly. The roar goes up from the Kop. Here's McAllister. Liverpool, of course, attacking that end in the second half. This is Robertson finding Gravenberch. Now it's Konate. And out to Alexander-Arnold. Bit of space for him. Thinks about a cross onto his left foot. Does cross. It's headed down. There's an appeal for a handball there. Close. I think it hits a hand. It was close. Probably De Ligt, but I don't think it was unnatural position. Yeah. And I don't think he could get his arm out of the way. And Michael Oliver doesn't look overly concerned. Well, I don't know. He's got his arm in the air. You've seen them given, those ones. I do hope it isn't, because to me, he's not doing any. He's turning away. His arm is in the air, yes. It's hit his elbow. But surely that doesn't... Well, if it does constitute a penalty, I think the game is gone. It doesn't, and I'm glad about that, because I do think VAR, some of them are a bit trigger happy. They get too overexcited. They think, oh, hang on. Oh, maybe we will.
Oh, he's going to go and
He's going to go to the monitor. Oh, dear. And I think it is going to be a penalty to Liverpool. I wouldn't be at all surprised. De Ligt is protesting. I've got sympathy with De Ligt. There was absolutely no intention to handle the ball. And we are led to believe that in the Premier League it is different from the Champions League, where any extended arm is seen as a handball. Now, in the Premier League, we're told it's an unnatural position. I would like to see Michael Oliver rescind this, but I don't think he will.
No, not normally when they go to the box.
Well, he's just jumped. He's turning. He's turned away. What is he supposed to do with his arm?
He's not looking at the ball. It's a balance. It's a balance.
It's McAllister's header. It hits his elbow. He's going to give it. Oh, it's a penalty to Liverpool for handball. Oh dear. Well, great sympathy with Manchester United there, because I can't understand how the game is being served by things like that being given as a penalty. I think most neutral people would say that's ridiculous.
He's not looking at the ball. He hasn't stood there facing. He's turning away, to be honest.
You're asking defenders to put their hands behind their backs.
Yeah, which is shocking.
It's absurd. But anyway, 68 minutes. Liverpool have a penalty. De Ligt shakes his head as well, he might. Now then, Onana is playing mind games with Cody Gakpo, who's got the ball in his hand at the moment. Onana should really get back into his goal and prepare for the penalty kick instead of remonstrating with Gakpo. Surely Gakpo's not going to take it ahead of Salah. Onana is now back on his goal line. He's in front of the Kop. Gakpo's handed the ball to Mohamed Salah, who's looking to score his 16th goal in games against Manchester United and his 21st of the season, his 18th in the Premier League. He has missed one of his last 5 penalty kicks, and this one is very, very big for Liverpool. Onana on his goal line in front of the Kop, looking to deny Liverpool's main man. Salah, hands on hips, prepares to take this penalty, left-footed, and he's just about squeezed it in. Onana guessed right and seemed to get something on it, but the ball went into the net, and Liverpool have turned the deficit to an advantage. They trailed, but they're now leading, and it's Mohamed Salah again with the goal, their outstanding player, and he's smiling in the rain. It's Liverpool 2, Manchester United 1.
I mean, we're going to see in all these shows, and the referees will come out and tell us reasons why that's a handball. It doesn't make sense to me. Like you're saying, we're just going to get every defender doing everything now with their hands behind their back. They'll have no balance, they'll fall, and they'll give away penalties by falling on people, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. He's that close to him as well when he's headed it. It's not as if it's headed from a distance. He's turned away. I wasn't on the ball.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I just think we're ruining the game. I really do. But anyway, Liverpool don't care. They're leading by 2-1. And for United, it's very deflating because they've been pretty good. Here's Salah again. They'd want a third, obviously. That goal, incidentally, is Mohamed Salah's 175th in the Premier League. And if you count Premier League statistics, he's now in that incarnation of English football level with Thierry Henry, which isn't a bad place to be. Here's Alexander-Arnold. There's a block there by Martinez, who ends up sitting in a pile of snow as he slithers across, but he had to make the challenge, and Liverpool have a corner. Alexander-Arnold look as if he injured himself in falling over, but he's going to be okay. Salah is now equal 7th all-time in Premier League scorers, and Garnacho is about to come on for Manchester United in place of Kobbie Mainoo.
Really? I'm not really understanding that. How he's going to... That's going to leave it light in the middle, because I mean, you've got Garnacho, doesn't offer you anything defensively.
No.
Doesn't really offer a lot attacking-wise.
One goal in 10 for him. It's not great for an attacking midfield player, but he's on. We're inside the last 20 minutes. Liverpool have somehow manufactured a lead. I wouldn't say this has been anywhere near their best performance of the season, but it's the old cliche about title-winning sides, isn't it? Winning ugly, winning games where they haven't played well, winning games against the odds, winning games from deficits. They've done all of those things this season, and this might be another. It's not over yet, of course, but at the moment, Liverpool will enjoy an 8-point advantage over Arsenal with a game in hand if they keep a clean sheet for the next 18 minutes plus stoppage time. Here's Jota. Well, that's clever by him, but De Ligt has read it. Here's Lisandro Martinez finding Bruno Fernandes. United, to their credit, are still trying to play, but Garnacho's been caught in possession. Here's Alexander-Arnold trying to find Jota. Instead, it's Salah. Salah still along the edge of the penalty area. Was he fouled by Maguire? Yes, he was. It'll be a free kick to Liverpool. And Maguire has been booked, and United are unhappy with Michael Oliver again.
I don't know. I don't think he actually made contact with that ball at all, Harry Maguire. They need to keep their calm here. They're losing their heads, Manchester. If this can go 3-4, if they get involved in everything, have to look at that from Harry Maguire.
Oh yeah, it's a foul.
It's a foul.
Question. He'd released the ball and Maguire went through him.
Yeah.
It's a free kick in a very, very positive position. Trent Alexander-Arnold would be foremost among those candidates potentially to take it. It's pretty central, about 20 yards from, literally just outside that D, on the edge of the penalty area. There are 17 minutes left. Manchester United need to turn a sense of injustice into a positive. You can be fueled positively by a sense of injustice, but alternatively, you can take it the wrong way and become upset and unhappy and lose your discipline, which is what you saw there.
Yeah. Harry Maguire's reaction to that was terrible, to be perfectly honest. He's gone to ground and he's given away a free kick in that area. There's no need.
Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mo Salah are having quite a conversation as they stand over the ball, analysing who would be the better taker as Liverpool look to establish a 2-goal lead, which probably would be insurmountable well as Manchester United have played. I mean, it probably would favour a left footer, but of course Alexander-Arnold is right-footed, so I'm guessing it's going to be Salah. Onana is arranging his wall, but if this goes in, I think it's curtains for Manchester United. Salah has already scored from one set piece. Here he comes, hands on hips again, looking to do likewise for another. Will they do the bluff and let Alexander-Arnold strike it? No, it's Salah, and it's just over the bar. And United breathe again.
Yeah, the only way he could have gone if he was going to take it, Trent Alexander-Arnold would have been the keeper's near post, the left-hand post. Salah's still gone for that with his left foot.
15 minutes to go. The weather's been atrocious on Merseyside, but Liverpool are singing in the rain because they are close now to further enhancing their reputation as the hot favourites to win their first title since 2020, when of course there was no one here to see them lift the cup because of the COVID situation. So I know Salah has gone on record as saying it would mean so much to him personally and to the club to win it in front, or to lift it in front of the fans. United have given it away in midfield. Jota finds Gakpo. Gakpo tries to turn. Tackled by Ugarte. Now it's McAllister. Out wide it goes to Robertson. And Robertson comes back to Virgil van Dijk, who just calms it all down with a stroke back to Alisson. Van Dijk again. Forward it goes, not a good ball. Maguire heads it forward. Here's De Ligt, who knocks it over the top towards Højlund. Højlund's had a pretty poor game, I think. He hasn't offered much. Well, that's a foul by Darwin Núñez, who's gone straight into De Ligt. I think he's going to get booked, the Uruguayan. De Ligt is holding his face. I don't think it was particularly brutal, but it was daft. And Darwin Núñez, I think he's going to find himself...
he's looking at the man as well.
That's not a that's actually not a good challenge.
No, you can...
He's looking at him, and he's put his shoulder into it. I don't think it's possibly a red card, but it's certainly daft. And it is a yellow for Darwin Núñez. He becomes the fourth Liverpool player to go into referee Michael Oliver's book. Sorry, the fourth player in the game, I should say, not Liverpool, because United have had several booked.
We've seen already that what's happened is Bruno has dropped into midfield with Ugarte. That means Garnacho has gone into Bruno's position. Straight away you lose
where he's not as effective.
No, nowhere near. He's in a central position where he is definitely not effective as what Bruno was.
Here's Dalot. United won't have given up hope there. They've played enough decent football to suggest that they conceivably could find a way back in, and again a draw here would be a terrific result for them. Here's Martinez, who got the goal, trying to find Højlund. Højlund gets to the byline, easily tackled by Konate, and the flag goes up far side anyway because Højlund was offside. 13 minutes to go. Liverpool 2, Manchester United 1. Liverpool have only lost one in 31 games coming into this one. It's an astonishing run of form. It'll be a 10th game in all competitions. They've produced the goods. Here's Fernandes. He's lost it in midfield to Jota. But then United win it back with Ugarte, then he gives it straight to Gravenberg. Gravenberg finds Salah. Salah on the near side, looking to take on Dalot. Tries to slip it through. United defend it well. Fernandes inside his own box. Just tries to flick it forward to Mazraoui, who does very, very well with a feint and a dummy and a drive forward and a ball. Oh, it was asking to be played into the space in front of Garnacho, but it was played so far in front of him that Alisson was the grateful recipient. Brilliant initially by Mazraoui, couldn't quite find the pass.
No, it was great work by him as well, Mazraoui, but the pass was quite narrow. It was going to be difficult.
Now Dalot charging forward. It deflects off Trent Alexander-Arnold and lands again in that pile of snow that's been shoveled off the pitch to allow this game to go ahead. Manchester United have been way, way better than anyone expected, and in some ways would be unlucky if they do lose because of the nature of the penalty award. This is the player who inadvertently conceded that penalty with a handball. De Ligt on the ball now inside his own half. Back to Onana. 11 minutes to go at Anfield, where Arsenal, Chelsea, Forest and Newcastle fans will be disappointed to see United surrender that lead. Here's Garnacho though, looking to take on Konate. Garnacho with the ball in, and it's stroked into the net by Ahmad. Manchester United have equalised. It's Garnacho down the left-hand side with the low ball in, and Ahmad, who got the winning goal in that famous FA Cup win against Liverpool last season, has made it 2-2 with 10 minutes left, and you can't say they don't deserve it.
It's just something out of nothing, to be perfectly honest. I'm so pleased Garnacho scored that. Garnacho has done the work, got it back, but more importantly, Ahmad has kept his shirt on by scoring.
Yes, indeed. He's already been booked. He's probably been warned about that. Yeah. Virgil van Dijk is furious with the defending there, and it looked a little bit too easy, didn't it?
It was far too easy. The ball's come down his right-hand side as well, where everything of any note has come down this area, whereas Konate and Alexander-Arnold are defending, and it's Robinson. It was Andy Robinson who stepped away from him. He stepped back, and then by the time he's realised, he's had to then try and challenge late. And Ahmad, who's had one of his quieter games by all accounts, I think because he's been doing quite a good defensive job as well, has nipped into the box and come away with a big prize of a goal in his back pocket.
Yes, indeed. It's his 6th goal of the season, and it'll be hugely welcome in not just Manchester but all those parts of the country where Liverpool are hoping, or fans are hoping Liverpool slip up. So it's 2-2 and we've got 9 minutes plus stoppage time to go, and Liverpool have a corner. The second half has been absolutely terrific. The first half was pretty routine really. Arne Slot, well, only 4 games this season so far have Liverpool dropped points in the Premier League. Is this to be the 5th? They battered United at Old Trafford. It's been much, much closer today, and United might get another here because Ahmad has seized upon a poor ball. He's got Højlund and Garnacho for support. Here's Alessandro Garnacho into the box, tries to go around Van Dijk, went the wrong way, and Dijk manages to block, and it's a corner.
I don't know where did he have the... I cannot believe he's tried to go around the outside of Virgil van Dijk. He's got no pace. Van Dijk hasn't got great early pace, but he's a good defender.
Yes, he is.
He made it so easy for him now.
Yep.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Well, it's a corner to Manchester United in an epic second half, which has seen 4 goals, 2 apiece. Who can get a 5th maybe and win it? Bruno Fernandes has a corner for Manchester United. 82 on the clock at Anfield, where only Nottingham Forest have won this season. In it comes. Alisson again punches and punches well. Ahmad heads it back. It's knocked away by Gravenberg. It'll drop for Salah, who controls it beautifully. He swivels away from Ahmad and tries to find Alexander-Arnold. Garnacho, though, lets the ball bypass him and go through to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes trying to manoeuvre his way through a tight midfield. He's done brilliantly well. Alexander-Arnold's fouled him. Booking is inevitable for Liverpool's right fullback, and out comes the card.
The thing about it, he was trying to foul him but didn't want to foul him.
In the end he had no choice.
Yeah, he was just mad there. Try and win the ball, do something. He didn't really want to run with him.
We had 2 goes at him. He's had a poor game, Alexander-Arnold, hasn't he? I mean,
very poor.
His defending's been woeful. Now then, Yeleni Euro is about to come on for Manchester United. He's just beginning to build a career at the club, of course. The teenage Frenchman who missed so much of the season because of an injury. He was out between August and December, having joined the club from Lille for a big fee. Conor Bradley is going to come on for Liverpool, another player who's been out injured a lot lately. Probably for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's not covered himself with glory. Here's Mazraoui for Manchester United, finding Ahmad. Fernandes with the ball into the box. It's a useful one, but it's just too long for Maguire, who stretches and now has to run back for his defensive position. As Liverpool come again, but since United equalised, United have been the better side and look the more likely.
They have, but there's always this bit here. Liverpool and Anfield have just got always saying about them. I haven't seen them this riled for it's been a long time, to be perfectly honest.
Yep, here's Alexander-Arnold, who might be about to be substituted, but at the moment he's played the ball forward towards Salah. Salah looking to take on Dalot. Still it's Mo Salah. Now it's Jota inside the Manchester United box, and then driven out of it by Fernandes, but Jota gets the cross in. Ahmad clears it, hits a teammate, and United just about managed to clear, and then Fernandes with a wonderful piece of skill. He's played well, Fernandes, today. He's been the creative hub, hasn't he, for United?
I must say, he's been magnificent.
Yes, he really has.
Everything about him. I just wish you could get this kind of disciplined performance from him in every game.
Yeah, he was missed the other night against Newcastle, where United were awful. They've been much better today. I mean, whatever happens in this game, Amorim will be delighted with what he's seeing, because he's seen a bit of fight, he's seen a bit of guile, he's seen so many things that Manchester United fans have not seen this season.
But the one thing he will be saying, be thinking about, he'll know that he's got to get this again in the next game.
Yeah.
That's the thing, they've been lacking consistency in the way they play games.
Well, the next 3 games in the league for Manchester United are against Southampton, Brighton and Fulham. All winnable theoretically. Well, I mean, I don't think you go down to Brighton and say, well, we can't possibly win here.
Well, you can do if you're Manchester United of this era.
Harvey Elliott's going to come on, as well as Conor Bradley, for Liverpool for the remainder of the game. There were just over 5 minutes left. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going off to be replaced by Bradley, the Northern Ireland international, who's been hampered by a hamstring injury, and Elliott, who's also had injury problems this season, is on. He scored in that ill-fated cup quarter-final last season when Amad Diallo's winner sent Liverpool out of the cup, and it's Amad Diallo's equaliser at the moment, which looks like denying Liverpool 3 points. Now then, Highland is off, Xerxes is on. Now, if ever there was a player who could do with some sort of resurrection, it's him. He was substituted after 33 minutes against Newcastle, was jeered by his own fans, and you felt sorry for him as he just walked down the tunnel. Didn't even see, came back eventually, but that was just an awful psychological blow for him. Just imagine if he can get the winner here, that would might even resurrect his entire career.
It's an awful thing for that to happen to any player, but the one thing you don't do is walk away and leave your teammates on the pitch.
Yeah, which he did, but anyway, Liverpool won the ball back, but only briefly. Ugarte, I think, has played well today. Ugarte and Fernandes return. It bodes well for United, because they've both... Oh, hang on, they've lost the ball in midfield. Here's Darwin Núñez for Liverpool. Are we going to get a late twist here? No, the tackle is made. United bring it away with Fernandes. It's a useful looking ball towards Garnacho. Canate only half clears. Here's Xerxes. Xerxes tries the nutmeg, it doesn't come off, and Conor Bradley smuggles the ball away, and it goes out of play inside the Manchester United technical area, and is gathered by Diogo Dalot, who will take the throw. 3 minutes left at Anfield plus stoppage time. The second half couldn't have been more different from the first. It's been a terrific watch. Now Xerxes trying to get the ball away from Canate, can't do so. McAllister back to Van Dijk. United certainly don't deserve to lose this game.
No, they don't.
It would be a sickener for them, and credit to them. Oh, Xerxes pounced on a loose clearance there. Here's Ugarte finding Fernandes. Fernandes to Garnacho, who created the goal for Amad Diallo a moment ago. This is Ugarte. Now it's Fernandes. United continue to be positive and look for a winner. Garnacho round the outside again, and this time Conor Bradley is in the way, but it's another corner for Liverpool defend, who look the more vulnerable team at the moment as we approach the final chapter of what's been a very engrossing second period, and United have a corner.
Well, this is the second time they're being stretched at home, by the way. Nottingham Forest did it to them, but Nottingham Forest didn't do it in this fashion. No. Nottingham Forest are not
did it on the break.
They're not a possession-based team, so they've had to work really hard, Liverpool.
Corner is taken diagonally out to Garnacho, back to Fernandes, who shoots and tries to catch Alisson out, and he nearly did, and Alisson has spilled that at his near post when he should have gathered it. It was a clever routine, and Fernandes, who's been very creative and influential today, almost sneaked one in at the near post. The keeper was there, but such was the surprise that he palmed it behind, and it's another Manchester United corner.
He was wise to it, the keeper, but still couldn't hold it. It was a good corner.
Fernandes again with the delivery, deeper one this time. It'll be hit on the volley by Amad Diallo. It hits a player in the box. It comes out to Dalot. Dalot wants to shoot, can't find the shot. Liverpool suddenly break with Jota, and this could go either way. Salah chasing down the left-hand side. Ugarte is there. Salah with the ball into the box. What a tackle, but it might fall here. Onana parries away from the shot by Diogo Jota. Now it's Conor Bradley. I'm pretty certain that was a fair challenge. Bradley into the box, but into the near post, and then Onana pushes it behind for a Liverpool corner. Absolute drama to the end here. We're in the final minute of the 90, and now Liverpool have a corner. I think this was a magnificent tackle by Lenny Yoro, and it needed to be.
I don't know if it's a brave tackle or a ridiculous tackle. Whatever way he's got away with it, I must say. Comes out as a great challenge, by the way, but to actually go in there like that, given how
he's timed it well, that's a good tackle.
He couldn't have timed it any better than what he did. Nunes couldn't even complain about it. But then when you see as well what Conor Bradley tried to do as well, going that near post.
We're into 7 minutes of stoppage time, and Liverpool have a corner with Andy Robertson looking to grab a last gasp winner or set one up. It's flicked on, and it's headed straight at the keeper. Onana didn't really have to move to save Van Dijk's weak header, and Liverpool have wasted a golden opportunity there. And here's Amad finding Xerxes for Manchester United. Xerxes plays a good ball across towards Fernandes. Fernandes forward to Garnacho. Garnacho edge of the box. Here's Dalot, gets to the byline, cuts it back. Konate's in the way. Garnacho shoots. It's blocked, and it comes out to Amad. This is an extraordinary finale. It really is, with either side looking equally capable of getting a winner. At the moment, it's United on the attack. Euro to Amad, to Ugarte. It's been an absolutely sensational second half. It's had everything, really. It's had goals, it's had controversy, it's had genuine drama. And Van Dijk, I think he should have scored, really. It came off Jota, and then he just limply headed it straight into Onana, either side of the keeper, and it was 3-2.
He just couldn't change. I mean, he's already stuck his head out. He couldn't get any power in his legs. There wasn't great pace on the ball, and that's what gave Onana the opportunity just to grab it. I will say, I haven't seen such an open game like this, Man United,
incredible.
Liverpool, long
Here's
time.
Gravenberch, and a great tackle there on Harvey Elliott, and United try and smuggle the ball away. Garnacho lets it dribble out of play. We've had 2 minutes of the 7 to be added on. Arne Slot is absolutely soaking wet, as is Ruben Amorim, but both of them are gesticulating wildly at their players. We're back to as you were in the table, with Liverpool 6 points clear of Arsenal if it finishes like this. But, I mean, United, it's not about the table, it's not about the position, it's about the spirit they will draw from a performance which has been totally unrecognisable from the majority of the, frankly, rubbish that they've served up this season.
That's exactly right. This is, you put this on in comparison to the Man City performance and what they've done there.
Yeah.
But again, I say it again, what happened after that was fell away.
Yeah, he needs to bottle this and try and instill it within his team. Is there going to be one last chance for either of them? Here's Lenny Yoro. I mean, he's a player, I must confess, I don't have a huge amount of, haven't seen him a lot because he's hardly played, but he looks useful. Here's Mazraoui. Ahmad back to Yoro. Yoro pings it across field. It's a useful looking ball to Garnacho. Garnacho kills it instantly, but kills it instantly in an offside position. That's silly because he didn't need to be offside.
No,
there
he
was in
didn't.
acres of space. There was no red shirt near him. Suddenly Liverpool on the counter with Salah. Salah looking to take on Lisandro Martinez. Salah with the shot, and it's blocked by Martinez and Bruno Fernandes, a combination of the both, and it's another Liverpool corner. I don't know how many corners we've had in this game. It's an awful lot. Liverpool are up to about 6. United have had about 8 or 9. This one is going to be taken again from the near side by Andy Robertson with his left foot. 94th minute. Robertson prepares to deliver. Van Dijk is in there again and gets a flick on, but Ahmad is able to clear for Manchester United at the back post all the way back to halfway, where Liverpool's last man back is Ryan Gravenberch, who tries to drive forward, plays a diagonal ball. It's headed away by Diogo Dalot, and it'll be a throw-in to Liverpool. Unbearable tension inside this ground as both teams, I think both sets of fans at the same time, are nervous that they'll concede, but confident they might score. Here's Gravenberch to Robertson, who's going backwards at the moment, but that's a good ball to find Diogo Jota. Jota driving forward, still it's Diogo Jota, and the shot is blocked brilliantly by Harry Maguire. I think you have to give credit to United's back three. They've been under a lot of pressure. They've made the odd mistake, but they have shown resilience and obduracy, and they've blocked a lot of stuff, and that's a poor ball which is not controlled by Gravenberch far side. It goes out of play, and there are 2 minutes of stoppage time left.
I wonder how much this will affect Liverpool after this game, by the way. The way that
they haven't had too many setbacks, have they?
No, they haven't. Everyone has kind of virtually, as I mentioned before, I was at London Stadium, and West Ham, they virtually threw out the biggest red carpet ever for a team arriving at London Stadium. They said, you can win it.
Well, Manchester United have avoided a 4th straight Premier League defeat, it seems. Here's Xerxes, and now Fernandes. That's a clever ball over the top. Ahmad is onto it. He's wrestling with Robertson, almost quite literally, and he goes to the byline. Robertson trying to stand him up. He's holding him, Robertson, surely, in the linesman on the far side. Didn't raise his flag. It's the referee who spotted the flag. He's clearly holding him.
He's holding him, but the thing about it, what happens...
Why isn't the linesman who's there?
The referees will tell the assistant, I'll give the fouls.
Maybe.
I mean, but which doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Because he could see that
right
from
on it.
Yeah, exactly
he
right.
Didn't raise his flag. 96 minutes have gone. Manchester United level at 2-2 with Liverpool. Have a free kick in the last minute of stoppage time. It's going to be taken by Bruno Fernandes, Yoro, Xerxes, Maguire, Dalot, all up on the edge of the Liverpool 6-yard box. Here's the delivery. Up goes Maguire, heads it down. It's cleared by Van Dijk, and it'll be Ugarte to clear it for Manchester United. It's turned into a brilliant ball for Fernandes. Fernandes to Xerxes. Can Xerxes do it? Maguire! He's put it over the bar! I don't believe it!
No.
Harry Maguire has missed an open goal in the 97th minute, set up by Xerxes. I suspect that Xerxes was probably too nervous to shoot himself, and Maguire has spooned it over the bar from 6 yards. My goodness me, Xerxes might have been offside had that gone in. He didn't want to shoot, did he? It's a good ball. And Maguire has got underneath it and spooned it too high. Oh my word. Absolutely incredible. Well, that's it. That's it. Maguire has spooned the chance over, and it finishes 2-2. So Manchester United, with a hugely improved performance, deny Liverpool the opportunity to go 8 points clear at the top of the table. It's a 6-point gap now. The first half was largely forgettable. The second half, anything but. It was Manchester United who took the lead through Lisandro Martinez. Cody Gakpo equalised very quickly for Liverpool, who then took the lead. Mo Salah converting a controversially awarded penalty by VAR, but then Ahmad made it 2-2. Virgil van Dijk and Harry Maguire both missed brilliant opportunities to win the game. Fair result in the
minutes. Were the better team, but it ends all square. Liverpool 2, Manchester United 2. Amad Diallo ultimately, as he did in the FA Cup last season, came back to haunt Liverpool with the equaliser once again. It means they stay just the 6 points clear of Arsenal at the top of the table, unable then to cash in on Arsenal and Chelsea, dropping points yesterday at the other end. United now 7 clear of the relegation places. They've stopped the rot as well, that run of 4 successive defeats. And those Manchester United fans who are staying in to applaud their white-shirted heroes, I think will be really encouraged. If this is what Ruben Amorim can produce with a full week's training, surely the future will be brighter. As for Liverpool, they'll be disappointed, but not too downbeat. It's still a healthy lead they have, isn't it? And this is always a difficult fixture to navigate, whoever is in charge. It finishes Liverpool 2, Manchester United 2.
What a brilliant game. What a brilliant end to the afternoon. And it was a superb 90 minutes. It really was. It drew you in the first half. Didn't disappoint in the second half. Some really good goals. Manchester United come away with a lot of credit. Liverpool have a question mark. They would be very disappointed not to get all 3 points today. But it shows you once again, and I said this to you earlier in the week, and you absolutely shot me down. Should we take a leaf out of the old firm book and throw the form book out of the window when these two meet? You said no chance, absolutely no chance. And what's happened? You've turned up there today. You go home happy as Larry's lamb. You've got 2 goals for the first time at Anfield since 2018. You've changed your mind completely. You've probably got an Amorim tattoo now.
I tell you what though, Sam, just to play devil's advocate, the question that I'll be asking if I'm Ruben Amorim, how can you stink the place out on Monday against Newcastle and then come here against the runaway leaders and perform like that? That is the level now that these players have proved they can reach. They've got Southampton at home in their next Premier League game. They go to Arsenal in the FA Cup before that. They've got to maintain that level of performance, hunger, desire and commitment.
Yep, no excuses from now on for Manchester United. Harry Maguire has a little word with Peter Schmeichel, who's standing underneath her umbrella on the side of the pitch at Anfield. Bruno Fernandes is shaking his head. He can't believe they're walking away with just a point. I tell you what, they would have snatched your arm off for a point prior to the game. 03717 22 33 44 1889 on the text. Get involved in the final word because Majestic and Alan Pardew are taking the calls next.
You've been listening to SiriusXM Sports. We now return you to our regularly scheduled programming.
Hi, Rodney Marsh here. Did you miss out on the latest edition of Grumpy Pundits? No problem. Download the SiriusXM app today and you can hear the best soccer talk anywhere, anytime. The SiriusXM app, free for most subscribers.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-244-0909. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-244-0909. That's 800-244-0909. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-244-0909.
We're constantly making promises to ourselves to live healthier. We're going to exercise more, eat right, and drink right. Well, isn't it time you start thinking about your water? Drinking right starts with Aquasana. Aquasana water filters give you immediate access to cleaner, healthier, extraordinary water. Water that's odor-free and tastes great. Aquasana water filters remove chlorine, PFAS, bacteria, and other impurities you don't want and leave you with the beneficial minerals you do want, like potassium and calcium. It's so good you'll notice an immediate difference in every drop of pure, delicious water. So whether you're washing vegetables or enjoying a post-workout shower, protect your whole home from contaminants with an Aquasana water filter. After all, healthy living starts with healthy water. Visit aquasana.com and use promo code SXM to get up to 50% off select systems. That's AQUASANA.com. Promo code SXM for up to 50% off. Aquasana. Better water, better you.
Talk Sport News.
Good evening, you're listening to The Final Word here on TalkSport. Coming up, myself and Alan Pardew dissect that fantastic 2-2 draw at Anfield. But first, it's the news headlines with Steve Forbes.
Cheers, Madge. Good evening. Thousands of homes remain without power across England and Wales as the Met Office issues fresh weather warnings into tomorrow. In Yorkshire, 17 centimetres of snowfall has been recorded in Bingley, but the Met Office says rain is now the main hazard in the south. Many airports were closed but have since reopened. Travel expert Simon Corder says our infrastructure just isn't very resilient.
And it's a question of, well, how much investment do you make for the relatively rare occasions when this happens? Do you have tens of millions of pounds worth of kit standing by just in case, or do you just keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best?
Elon Musk claims Reform UK needs a new leader because Nigel Farage doesn't have what it takes. The MP says he disagrees with calls from him to resign and has distanced himself from the billionaire's support for jailed political activist Tommy Robinson. And there's going to be an overhaul of the NHS app as part of plans to help cut waiting lists in England. But the BMA union says serious inroads won't be made without improvements elsewhere.
Talk Sport with Bostik. If you need a professional grade sealant with high mold resistance, easy tooling and minimal shrinkage, choose Bostik Pro Sealants.
A thriller at Anfield as Amad Diallo helped United end their losing streak, drawing 2-2 with Liverpool, who are 6 points clear at the top. And at the other end, Ipswich remain in the bottom 3 following a 2-2 draw with Fulham.
The January transfer window on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Mountains of cash are ready to be splashed, and TalkSport keeps you bang up to date with all the rumours, reports and all the big money moves. Unbelievable! Get uncompromising analysis and instant reaction to all the deals as they're done. Oh, it's in! Plus full details of all the latest signings on the TalkSport app. How about that? The January transfer window on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker.
There's the full-time whistle.
It's the ultimate fan phone-in.
And that surely settles it.
The Final Word phone-in with Madge and Pards on TalkSport.
Good evening and welcome to the Final Word phone-in with me, Majestic, alongside the experienced football manager Alan Pardew. We've just seen one of the games of the season as Liverpool and Manchester United played out a pulsating 2-2 draw at Anfield. The title race, is it back on? Liverpool fans, are you happy with the result as you go 6 points clear at the top again? Or do you need some reinforcements in this January transfer window? And Man United supporters, are you furious with the penalty decision? Should you be coming away from Anfield with all 3 points? It's been a very interesting big weekend for handball decisions. 03717 223344. The phone lines are open right now. Earlier in the day, it was penalties galore as Fulham drew 2-2 with Ipswich in a feisty affair. 4 points in 2 games for the Portman Road side. Could they stay up this season with other clubs falling around them? So it's all about you and your opinions on the final word. Give us a call, 03717 223344 to air your views on the nation's biggest sports show, the final word phone in here on TalkSport. That's right, we are also live on YouTube if you care to come and join me and Pards on a Sunday evening to go through what's been a great weekend of football once again and finished on a classic Anfield, Pards.
It was a great game. I mean, that's one of those sort of pulsating games that you can't not get engrossed in. And at the end there, what a chance to win it for Man United.
Absolutely, and they'll go away from there almost disappointed that they didn't get 3 points when they would have snatched your hand off for a draw before the game.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at United today, it's just a complete transition from where they've been. There was fight in their team. There was character in the team. There was a week's work that the manager got to do with the team this week of not just tactical formations and what we expect, but a mentality change. When you've got a team for a whole week, you can get into them a little bit about having the fight and the aggression, and it's certainly done the job on him and his staff in terms of turning that psychology round of that team, because they were much better today, much better.
03717 223344. The phone lines are now open. Let's go straight to a Man United fan. Michael joins us. Good evening, Michael.
Good evening.
You must be very happy after seeing that.
Well, yes, because I've heard all week what people said, whooping.
We've heard the whooping button a lot this week.
We gave Liverpool a whooping that second half because they were disorganised like we have been for many, many weeks.
I don't think it was a whooping, but he definitely played very well in the second half.
I think I'm actually annoyed by that penalty decision. I mean, it's right at him. He couldn't move out the way. I mean, that ball was going about 40 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Well, I'm confused, Mike, with the penalty, with the handball rule this weekend. I don't know what's a handball, what's not.
What gets me, my qualifier is meant to be the referee, right?
Yeah.
Now, he said, no handball. Oh, no, a little thing in his little eardrum again. VAR intervenes. If that's a penalty then, shouldn't he be sent off because that was a second yellow card offence then? Shouldn't Nunez been sent off for his not even going for the ball, but taking our players out? You see my point?
Yeah, the inconsistencies are there for all to see.
All I would say is, right, that's an experienced referee, right? We agree that. He's had many big games. He looked at that handball and turned away from it because he knew the ball was so fast. But actually, when you look at it at VAR, the hand's in a natural position and it hits his hand. No matter how fast that ball's coming, unfortunately, VAR will slow it down to like whatever it is, and then he gets the message in the ear.
They didn't want to slow Newcastle's down yesterday, did they?
Your one was a little bit. I'm saying your one. Obviously, I'm talking about Spurs here. It was a tough call on you, but I think that's equally as tough on Man United today.
Yeah,
actually giving it.
Absolutely.
But we saw pride today.
Yeah, that's
absolutely a fight, didn't you? And you see some character. I've watched so many Man United games this year, and especially under Ten Hag, and I'm thinking, where's the passion? Where's that Man United? Where's that? From the stands, that fight. That history.
I said to you last season, I said we have no characters, no backbone, no leadership. Today was all that. What we needed, we got it.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you're talking about the same players. It's, sometimes it's a mindset. And a new manager coming in, having a week's work with them, he's obviously got into a few of them and he's got what he wanted out of them. And I think he will be absolutely delighted on that bus going on.
I expect this out from every week now, from here now to the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that's
the thing, consistency now.
That's it, Mike.
Yeah.
We've seen it. We've all seen it. They can do it, so there's no excuses, is there?
Absolutely. Brilliant. Cool. Thank you, Michael. Let's go over to Darren, who's a Liverpool fan. Evening, Darren.
Good evening.
Hi, Darren.
Disappointed with that? Do you feel like you dropped points, but by the end of it, do you think it was a fair result?
I don't think we deserved to win today. We played okay, but we didn't really turn up. We didn't have the tempo we normally have.
But I think Man United stopped you from doing that. I think that would be due to Man United's sort of sort of defensive prowess today when you say Pards.
Yeah.
You mentioned
their approach and the way everything they did. I still thought they had some outstanding performances. I thought McAllister was unbelievable at times today. You know, but you just got a little bit loose towards the end. You know, when he put when he put changed and put Núñez and Jota on, normally when he's done that, you know, you go on and win the game, don't you? Because you've got that extra firepower. But it made you a little bit open today, and United almost nicked it.
I thought Trent was a disgrace today. His first half and second half, everything was down our left.
Yeah, it was coming down that side. Absolutely right.
He had no endeavour. He had no endeavour to get back and fight for the team. It's like he had his mind somewhere else.
Well, I was going to say that, Darren. Do you think with all these Real Madrid rumours at the moment, do you think that's playing a part?
So. I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Pards, have you been in a position...
He didn't show no fight. He didn't show no for the shirt.
No, Pards, have you been in a position where there's a lot of talk about a player and they're having to keep playing for you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, many situations, particularly when a window opens, you start getting performances that are out of character, but mainly, and sometimes you're not even in the know. I remember Demba Ba was going to leave us, and he literally come and see me and said, "I'm going to Chelsea." And I was like, Demba, that ain't your decision. You know, this is a collective decision. It's not just you, you know. Yeah. And he made it very, very clear it was his decision. Yeah. And in the end, he did go. But, you know, you do get that kind of problem in terms of when a player as young as Trent, and he's still a young man, remember, has had so much attention this week, isn't it? It's probably drained him. He looked drained. He looked energyless, didn't he? Particularly like getting back, you know, getting in recovery. I think actually the second goal, he actually just wanders back into his position a little bit. I might have to see that again, but when I looked at it the first time, I was thinking, need a bit more energy there, and I think that's how we played today. Yeah, and I think Darren's spot on. I think, you know, down that side, it was a weakness for Liverpool.
They targeted it for sure. It was an old school classic at Anfield today, and there's plenty to talk about. Liverpool fans, what did you make of Trent's performance? You heard there from Darren, he wasn't impressed. And are you needing some players in the window to keep your title charge on track? Man United fans, are you furious with that penalty decision? 03717 223344 is the number to call right now on the Final Word phone in here on TalkSport.
It's a drama-filled final week of the NFL regular season, and you can follow all the twists and turns on SiriusXM. Division championships are on the line.
Touchdown, Lamar Jackson!
Win and you're in.
Touchdown, Denver! What a throw by Bo Nix!
And it all concludes with a Sunday night showdown between the Vikings and Lions for the NFC's top seed. Hear every NFL game all the way through Super Bowl 59 on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
Hi, this is Emil Forsberg of the New York Red Bulls, and you're listening to the radio home of MLS, SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
Imagine relying on a dozen different software programs to run your business, none of which are connected, and each one more expensive and more complicated than the last. It can be pretty stressful. Now, imagine Odoo. Odoo has all the programs you'll ever need, and they're all connected on one platform. Doesn't Odoo sound amazing? Let Odoo harmonize your business with simple, efficient software that can handle everything for a fraction of the price. Sign up today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
SiriusXM FC. Your home for the world's game is SiriusXM FC 157.
The FC Shout Line is always open for you to vent.
Stop singing. You're a great footballer.
but you suck at singing.
But we won't always agree with you.
I'll give you anything, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. 'Cause I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love.
Call the FC Shout line anytime at 202-596-5880 on Sirius XM FC Channel 157.
Full-on fan reaction. First,
Oh, that's it!
the final word phone-in with Madge and Pards on TalkSport.
Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. Lisandro Martinez, the unlikely hero for the visitors. Well, you can't keep a top team down for very long. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 1. This is a brilliant solo goal from Cody Gakpo. Salah, hands on hips in front of the Kop, usually so-called from 12 yards. Onana goes the right way, but Salah finds the bottom corner. Liverpool 2, Manchester United 2. Amad Diallo has equalised for the visitors.
Good evening, you listen to the final word phone in here on TalkSport with me, Majestic, and experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew. You heard it there. It finished at Anfield, Liverpool 2, Manchester United 2 in what was a classic played out at Anfield. Talking about handballs, because that's been the controversy this weekend, and we've got the reasoning for the handball from the PGMOL. VAR recommended an on-field review for a possible handball by De Ligt, deeming that his arm was raised in an unnatural position. Upon review, the referee overturned his original call of no penalty. Do you think it was a handball, Pards?
You know, when we look at whenever you look at handballs, it's always a grey area, right? Let's just put that at the start. But that ball was travelling so fast in real time. It's got a slight defection just in front of him as well. Why his arm is up there is quite bemusing to me a little bit. I'm not sure if he had time to think about, stop that going towards the goal. I don't think he did. I just think it was a kind of natural kind of way that he's sort of reacted to the deflection. And unfortunately for him, it's hit him on the arm. The referee, an experienced referee, see it in real time, didn't give it. And I think because of the pace of the ball and everything else, remember that's in front of the Kop. You're not, what it's like when you go there. I've been there as a manager. You know, when that Kop all jumps up and all the players react, there's going to be some consequences. And the consequences were the message in the ear. It's hit his hand. It's in a natural position. Penalty. And when you look at it at VAR on the still shot, it's a penalty.
Can we just go back to ball to hand, hand to ball? Do you remember that?
No. Well, I've never loved the handball rule. And it's so kind of irritating to managers and to players alike. And it's one of those things that as a player sometimes, you actually, when they say an unnatural position, I always think that's a little bit of a false statement as well.
Yeah.
Because you can be in all sorts of position when you jump or when someone gets a deflection. You kind of react. It's like a gunshot. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and you end up in a funny position and it hits your arm. You've had no intention to stop it going towards the goal and you got a penalty against you. So, yeah, I got a massive problem with handballs, but it is what it is.
Well, let's see how Stu, the Man United fan who was at the game, feels about it. How was Stu?
Hello, mate. You all right? Hello, lads. How you doing?
Yeah, do you know what? You must be buzzing after that performance.
Oh, mate, if I were going back to Northern Ireland now, I'd be out with the boys. But, oh, my God. Like, firstly, I want to say how proud I am of the team, mate. What a performance that we put in there. My City mates, my Liverpool mates are like 7-8-0 this weekend, lads. You're going to get hammered. Oh, it's going to be an embarrassment. But then to watch that performance from the lads, what a performance.
It's a performance to build on, isn't it, Stu?
Right, unreal. Like, I just listened to you guys a minute ago as I got in the car. Like, we turn up at City, but then we get turned over by the lesser teams. But hey, there's forms out the window for these sort of games, isn't it? It's our biggest game of the season, this.
Oh, yeah.
Liverpool, it has been for 20 years. Never mind City. It's all about Liverpool.
Yeah, this is why I wasn't in that camp of thinking it was going to be a 5-6-0. I thought, to be fair, Man United would get something from the game after that City performance as well. And I just think now, the manager Pards has something to say. Hang about, you can turn up at Anfield and show the commitment and the grit. I need that in every game. Like,
it's always the same. When you have a set of players, right, you say the easy thing to say after a game like that is that you've set those standards. The manager hasn't set those standards. They've set them with their performance level, and now they've got to replicate it. It's no good just turning up at Liverpool, as a caller said just then. You know, it's their biggest game of the season. You can't just be that. It just can't happen just for that one game. This is what you've set. This is what we got to do every week. And a couple of crunching tackles that I haven't seen Man United do for ages.
And it was kicking off.
And it was like, it was passion and everything that you want to see in a football team. And a great job by the manager and his team to get that move right in that change room, Man United, because they started well and they finished even stronger.
Absolutely. Let's go over to Brandon, who's a Liverpool fan. How are we, Brandon?
Not bad, gents. How are you?
Do you feel you dropped points today, or do you think by the end of the game you was happy with just walking away with something?
Well, listen, that first half performance was nothing of the Liverpool we've seen all season, in all honesty.
No.
And I think it was one of them games where you could tell the pressure United had nothing to play for, in all honesty. And after their performance last week, you could tell they was going to get you can't take your foot off the pedal at this level, and that's exactly what we did in the first half. In the second half, there was a reaction, but realistically, you can tell Trent's got things going on in his mind. And I think in January, if you can cash in on him, you might as well, rather than wait until the end of the season.
Brandon, what did you think about when Salah, scores the penalty and he goes to the floor and kisses the pitch? What's your reaction to that?
I was around my mates watching it, in all honesty, and I said, "This is it. I'll be on the M6 in May, going to celebrate the league," because I thought that was it. But like I said to you, it's Salah, Van Dijk. Them two have been very open about signing a new contract and wanting to do it. Trent hasn't really spoken much about it, and as soon as 1st of January's hit, you can tell he's got other things on his mind by the look. And I feel for him, because he's put in a position with his boyhood club, and you've got one of the biggest clubs in the world, Real Madrid, coming after you.
Yeah.
And it's one of them situations where you're caught in a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, it definitely affected him mentally today. Definitely.
If he does go, Brandon, do you wish him well, or are you one of the Liverpool fans that are like, nah, I'm not having it?
Yeah, the situation on the free bugs me. The going on a free really bugs me, and it doesn't sit right. But for he's been there since the very beginning, from a kid. He's won absolutely everything for the club, and he's sort of one of them. If he wants another challenge, go enjoy it. I just wish he goes in the right way. That's all I'm hoping for, and I hope he doesn't take his foot off the pedal because he's got other things going on.
Yeah, let me come into that, Brandon, because there's an interesting point that you raised there. I've had many conversations with young players when they come in, when you got them in a position where they're coming up to like 21, 22. I know Trent's a little bit older than that, and they're due to sign their second pro contract, but they've done really well, and now the contract's running down, and then you have the conversation with them about the legacy and what the club has done for them, for all their youth, all the youth program, everything in the academy, everything that you've done for that football, and now you're going to walk away and we're not going to get a penny for you. Do you think that's right? And that is a when you think about it.
Well, as a Spurs fan, I've been there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's a horrible thing for supporters to swallow, and let alone the financial director and the chairman and the manager and the coaching staff who are absolutely gutted.
Yeah,
but that's how it is.
It's like sign the paperwork and allow the club to reap the reward. Simple as.
Well, they've done 20 million in January. Well, apparently they've offered 15 million, which, when you look at his performances throughout the past 5, 6, 7 years, that's not a $15 million player. No chance. But where we put ourselves in this situation with all three of them, you're going to get taken the nick out of and get offers like that coming through. And we haven't helped ourselves. We haven't covered ourselves in glory of all three of them. But it hurts when you see Van Dijk and Salah saying they want to stay. And he's very nonchalant about it, which is rightly so. If he does want to go, then it is what it is. It's just one of them situations.
And I said to Madge off air, before we started the show, there's another thing with going to Real Madrid, which is social media, in terms of the financial impact that you can create for yourself. And Trent going to Real Madrid, would be massive for him.
Becoming a Galactico is
a different level in terms of, when the fan base of Real Madrid, with all due respect to Liverpool, is just like off the scale.
Well, you see it with Jude Bellingham, don't you? Yeah. Everyone around the world knows who Jude Bellingham is. Yeah. Trent Alexander-Arnold goes to Real Madrid. The world knows who Trent is. 03717223344. Let's go over to Jill. She's a Man United fan. Good evening, Jill.
Good evening, Madge. Pards, how are you doing?
Yeah,
Good,
very
Jill.
well. I bet you're feeling energised after that to see your team actually look like a Man United of old.
Oh, I've got to say, all week I've just heard pundits, opposition fans, we're going to get whitewashed 5-6-0. And that first half and going 1-0 up was brilliant. I think Amorim's used some reverse psychology here, Pards. I don't know what you think. But when he talked about the players showing fear, I think that was reverse psychology, and I think they went out today and they didn't show any fear.
Absolutely.
And they took it to Liverpool, and that's the United of old that I've watched, and that's the United I want to see going forwards. They've set a precedent now.
Yeah, well, there's an interesting thing that you say there, Jill, because what he's probably done all week is say, like, are you playing with fear? Are you gonna show me Saturday? Then he's reinforced it in the press to sort of get that message. And you're absolutely right. They come out fearless today and going to show that no, that is not an accusation that you can throw at us. And it's about time, by the way, Jill, isn't it? I mean, it's about time that you had performances like from De Ligt today, who was aggressive. Harry, who was aggressive again, and suddenly, oh, here we go, game on.
Well, yeah, some great tackles going in, some sliding tackles going in, some fight, playing for the shirt. Let's do it. We could have won that at the end. We could have won it. And I'll tell you something, if we won it, I would have been talking about it for the next week or so, and that would have shut up some of them Liverpool fans, eh?
Yeah, you know what it is, Jill, more than anything is I could see the players playing with a bit of pride. And, you know, to be playing for such a big football club as Manchester United, that's the one thing I don't think the likes of Roy Keane could get his head around, is like, how are you not playing with a little bit of self-respect and pride? And today, I think they all did that, and you saw the reaction from the goals and the way that they celebrated together.
Yeah. And now the next task is the next game, because you know that's what it's about. When you play for Man United, that one game that they've done at Liverpool, brilliant, well done. But now you've got to go and do it again, and it comes thick and fast. Is it Wednesday they play Arsenal in the League Cup?
No, they got Arsenal in the FA Cup. Manchester United, so that'll be next weekend. It's just they need to build off of that and take that momentum. Don't forget, there's NFL action on TalkSport 2 right now as regular season comes to a conclusion. Listen to all the action on the brilliant TalkSport app. So Liverpool fans, lots of unhappiness towards Trent right now on the show. Does he deserve to be singled out after everything he's done at Anfield? Was that a bit unfair? And Man United fans, how angry are you about the handball decision? Has that cost you 2 points? 03717223344 is the number to call and air your views on the Final Word phone in here on TalkSport.
Transform your environment and melt into music channels curated to calm. Fade into the lo-fi haze of chill hop. Relax with soothing new age sounds inside Spa. Or lose yourself in the electronic ambiance of Tranquil. Explore these channels and more across Sirius XM and in the Sirius XM app. Just search Relax.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-244-0909. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-244-0909. That's 800-244-0909. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-244-0909.
We're constantly making promises to ourselves to live healthier. We're going to exercise more, eat right, and drink right. Well, isn't it time you start thinking about your water? Drinking right starts with Aquasana. Aquasana water filters give you immediate access to cleaner, healthier, extraordinary water. Water that's odor-free and tastes great. Aquasana water filters remove chlorine, PFAS, bacteria, and other impurities you don't want and leave you with the beneficial minerals you do want, like potassium and calcium. It's so good you'll notice an immediate difference in every drop of pure, delicious water. So whether you're washing vegetables or enjoying a post-workout shower, protect your whole home from contaminants with an Aquasana water filter. After all, simple. Healthy living starts with healthy water. Visit aquasana.com and use promo code SXM to get up to 50% off select systems. That's AQUASANA.com. Promo code SXM for up to 50% off. Aquasana. Better water, better you.
This is SiriusXM Radio. You're listening to SiriusXM Radio. This is SiriusXM Radio.
TalkSport Sports Update with Trusted Trader. When it matters, get the job done marvellously well by a verified Trusted Trader professional.
Talk Sport. Good evening, I'm Steve Forbes. Breathless stuff at Anfield, where in the end Liverpool held on to a 2-2 draw against a revived Manchester United. Our chief football correspondent Alex Crook was watching and says United will be pleased to have stopped the rot after 4 successive defeats.
And those Manchester United fans who are staying in to applaud their white-shirted heroes, I think will be really encouraged. If this is what Ruben Amorim can produce with a full week's training, surely the future will be brighter.
Liverpool edged 6 points clear at the top, while United are now 7 points clear of the relegation zone. Earlier, a brace of spot kicks from Raul Jimenez secured a point for Fulham as they too drew 2-2 with Ipswich. The strikers told TalkSport what it feels like to now be the highest scoring Mexican in Premier League history.
Yeah, I am really happy with that record. It's hard work, being 6.5 years here in the UK, in the Premier League, so I've been working hard to achieve this, and well, I got it now.
Sunderland are now just 3 points off the Championship summit after a 1-0 win at home to 10-man Portsmouth. Pompey's 4th successive away defeat leaves them just above the relegation zone on goals scored. Just the one game in League 2 could go ahead due to weather postponements today, with Crewe beating Bromley 4-1. Rangers twice let their lead slip, losing more ground on Celtic with a 3-3 draw at Hibs, while the Hoops extended their lead at the top of the Scottish Premiership to 13 points after a routine 3-0 win over St Mirren. And TalkSport understands Crystal Palace are showing renewed interest in Sunderland's Jobe Bellingham. The £20 million rated midfielder has been on the Eagles' radar in the past. There's more on the live blog at talksport.com.
TalkSport News.
Heavy snow has led to major travel disruption across much of the UK, with stranded vehicles and collisions resulting in road closures in northern England. Several airports have reopened, but thousands of homes remain without power as the Met Office issues fresh warnings for snow and ice. And booking an NHS appointment could be about to get easier with the help of a redesigned app. It's hoped the revamped software will reduce waiting lists in England.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. Get 10% off 2 or more Bridgestone Turanza All Season 6 tyres and claim your free Kambuka bottle. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Conditions apply.
Unsettled with further snow across the north and heavy rain spreading eastwards in the south, turning colder overnight.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker.
There's the full-time whistle.
It's the ultimate fan phone-in.
And that surely settles it.
The final word phone-in with Madge and Pards on TalkSport.
Good evening. It's the final word phone in here on TalkSport with me, Majestic, alongside the experienced football gaffer. Even though it was NFL on TalkSport 2, it's Coach Pardew. And Mr. Alan Pardew. 2 Titans, a World Football clashed at Anfield this afternoon, and they didn't disappoint as the game ended in a 2-2 draw classic. So Liverpool fans, are you happy with the result as you go 6 points clear at the top yet again? And should Trent Alexander-Arnold get some more respect after everything he's done for the club? And Man United fans, are you furious with the penalty decision? Should you be coming away from Anfield with all 3 points? Are you getting fed up with the confusing handball law? I know I am. This show is all about you and your views, so call us right now on 03717 223344. Of course, we're on YouTube as well. If you are watching, welcome along all of our viewers. If you aren't watching already, turn it on. Come see me and Pards in the flesh as we discuss the weekend's football. It's the final word phone in here on TalkSport. Just a reminder of today's scores in the Premier League. It finished Liverpool 2, Manchester United 2, Fulham 2, Ipswich 2, and in the Championship, you heard it there in the news, Sunderland 1, Portsmouth 0, and in League 2, Crewe 3, Bromley 1, Pards.
Yeah, well, been a great run, Bromley, but it comes to a shuddering halt today.
Yeah, and because we like to talk about managers on this show, League 2 side Gillingham have appointed John Coleman as their first team coach.
Well, he's been around the game, John Coleman, a long, long time. So that's an experienced manager. I didn't see that. They've appointed him today, have they?
Yeah. Let's go over to Matt, who's a Liverpool fan. He was at the game today. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, guys. How's it going?
Yeah, very well. How are you feeling after that today? Because, at the end of the day, it's a big, big game between the two of you. Always has been historically, regardless of form. And at the end of the day, won a loss, another draw. You're 6 points clear with a game in hand.
Yeah, I was worried about it, in honesty, because what Manchester are known for and what they are great at is they can pull out those incredible moments and get, eke out wins like that. So no matter what form they were in, I knew the possibility of that. I spoke to Rory Jennings last night, and my prediction was a 3-1. I thought they'd definitely have something in the game. I thought we'd be able to maybe dominate them a little bit more like we did with Spurs, but it was it was a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I do think, to give Amorim his credit, in comparison to when you played Spurs, and still played the way he plays, Amorim today, Pards, it felt like he set up bit different to how you normally would, because he's played with the straight back five, and it really did sort of stifle Liverpool a bit in terms of the game.
Yeah, well, first half the two number 10s were coming back to to form a 4. So you had basically a 4 and a 5, and well disciplined, well coached this week. But as I said, I don't think that was the main crux of their performance today. I think it was the mentality they approached the game and the way they've gone about it. I mean, I would just say to Matt, I don't know what you thought, that Liverpool, they've done well, when you think about the Christmas period, you got all those games, you got a real sort of chance to slip up, and I think this was a slippery one, and I think you've done terrific. 1 loss in 19 games, 46 points, top goal scorers, only the second best defence in the league. I mean, all the stats are pointing in the right way.
Yeah, I think Slot has been incredible, and I think every fan's a little bit wary of when we do start to slip up, if he is that incredible manager that he can turn it around and keep us on track. We've only seen it through the good times. So what happens when eventually you hit that bump in the road? But whenever we have, I was at the Forest game, you saw us hit a bump and there was no reaction to it. And since then, whenever a team comes out second half, it almost seems re-energized, and it comes in with a different focus. And what he's able to install into this team is incredible. And I don't feel like I've watched Liverpool like I've never seen a Liverpool that just feels so dominant.
Well, I don't know if you see today, Matt. There was a stat in the Sunday Times that Liverpool run less than anybody else in the Premier League.
Run less,
and the reason that is mainly because of probably they're winning games and they're seeing them out. And the pace of the game, they're taking out. The opposition are sitting so deep, so that they've got a lot of the ball. There's a lot of probing, a lot of
they bring Alisson into it so much.
Yeah,
he's Alisson's how he contributes to each match, how he becomes sort of like that 10th man on the pitch. Exactly. It's really, really interesting, and you are seeing how he operates quite differently than Klopp in that sense, that there is more of a defensive structure.
Yeah, there's more control. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, more
and
control.
Now with Ibrahim back, he almost looks like a Van Dijk number 2. Van Dijk almost commands a space where players dare not go near him, and Konate is doing something very similar. I think he's an incredible defender.
I'd agree with that. Brilliant call. Thank you very much, Matt. Pards, you said to me off air you had a bit of a idea about Liverpool winning the league, a bit of a theory. What is that theory that you've been thinking of?
Well, it's based around this period, really, because you've got a manager who's never done a kind of Christmas period at this level and this intensity. In Holland, you have like 2.5 weeks off. That would be, you'd have the whole Christmas period off, and you come back, 6th of January, and start playing again. So this is unusual for him. And I thought to myself, with the games and the intensity, and they've got all the, the European campaign to come back on, you can lose focus in this period. And what I mean by that is you slip up and get a defeat, and they haven't.
They've had 9 games since the 1st of December, and 1 postponed, so they would have had 10.
Yeah, but they've seen them all off. They've not really had a slip up. Like, you know, I don't even think today was a slip-up. They come up against a really determined Man United performance, a proper Premier League game between two heavyweights, and they still haven't lost. So, you know, the signs for me are really strong. And if I'm not a betting man, but if I was a betting man, I would be solidly on Liverpool.
Yeah, those games that, you know, we're talking about in that period of time, you know, they've beat Manchester City. Obviously, they drew with Newcastle in that period, and they've drawn with Man United. But, you know, there've been no easy fixtures. They've had to go to West Ham, beat them 5-0, go to Tottenham, beat them 6-3, winning the Champions League. Like I say, the only thing, the Everton, the Merseyside derby that was postponed. But, yeah, they are just getting... Because... Do you know what? As much as it might be, everyone was expecting Liverpool to win 5-6-0 today. It was never going to be the case with a Man United going to Anfield, especially needing a result. And I just think this result suits probably both teams, actually, quite well.
Yeah.
Because,
as I say, I think both managers would say a lot of positives from today.
Especially with Arsenal and Brighton yesterday. Yeah. I think that made it even easier for them maybe to swallow here and go again. Because, for me, that was a big opportunity for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I was watching that game last night, and you know, Brighton probably just done enough to deserve the draw. You know, I didn't think Arsenal were great. I still think there's a lack of goals there to really compete with Liverpool. And although they're only 6 points behind, they've played the extra game. But you know, I think they might do business in this window for a goal scorer of either.